Good afternoon, people. Even though technically there's nobody watching. Oh, no, there's 3 people watching. Okay, I'm sorry. Good afternoon, all 3 of you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going. This is why I talk to you.
Good afternoon, Ebony Williams. Hey, Michelle Arnold Hammond.
Yeah. 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 And once they understand how unwavering
Carl
and how
McConnell.
valuable it is and how it's not, yeah.
Brian. Keisha. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Come on in. I don't know why am I yelling? Like y'all on the other side of the building or something. Y'all, the mic is right here. Y'all can hear me. But I don't know why. I feel like I gotta yell. Hey, come on in. I don't know why.
Yeah. For sure. I've definitely
Nat,
that. I just think
Rodney,
right now,
Vincent.
and it's weird because like it's not even now that I know what it is to like build the foundation of a relationship that is not based on any kind of validation or insecurity. Now I'm
Miss Lucky Charm,
kind of a
Candy D,
crossroads place, I feel
Preston.
like sometimes where I have to think to myself, am I being intentional? Am I being purposeful? Or am I being... Because I feel like sometimes I'll be thinking of like, like I said, I've been single for so long that I'm used to making decisions based on solely what I feel God is directing me and not having to take nobody else's emotions into consideration. And now I'm beginning to
Jason,
feel like, oh shoot,
Donald, Cedric, Elizabeth.
Or why do I feel...
Or Elizabeth.
Why am I starting to question the confidence and the decisions that I make because of God? Like, and it's not that I'm trying to make bad...
Wait a minute, hold on. Have you got your vaccination? Are you fully vaccinated? What you going to
Brandon.
Don't be walking
I'm sorry, I
past
see
me
Brandon
to the
out there.
studio, to the studio like a manager. You just walk past me like, plus. That's how he used to do it.
Hey, holler, tell Brandon to come in here. If you don't mind. Tell Brandon to come in here.
Hey, Tatum. Emanuel wants you in the studio.
You get on my nerves. All right.
4 minutes after. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until...
I just feel like or at least I feel like I'm at a point now.
3 o'clock this afternoon.
Where like...
Music is loud. Can we bring this? Yeah.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Oh,
Yeah.
My bad. I forgot the music was playing.
It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experience. On the other side of the glass, Raven Mundy. She is your favorite millennial.
Hello.
And in the studio with me for just a moment. I saw him walking by. He's one of our on-air personalities on 101.1 The Wiz, number 1 for hip hop and R&B. Number 1. You go by Brandon over there?
I go by Tatum.
Tatum.
Tatum is in the building.
Tatum is in the building.
Yes.
Tatum, tell me something. But first, how old are you? How old?
27.
As a 27-year-old man in these streets, and you from Chicago, right?
In these streets, okay.
What's going on out here in these streets with these people shooting
bring
each
my camera.
other? I mean, you know, having grown up in Chicago, being here in Cincinnati, are you not sharing that you're from Chicago? Is that a secret?
Even if it was, it's already out the bag. So I mean,
So being from another city
Appreciate you. Much love.
and being
Yeah,
in
I was
these
gonna do it
streets
anyway,
here,
but Got you.
you can move that stuff out the chair if you want to sit
all right,
down.
this good. This good. We go right here.
Okay.
What is going on out in these streets?
I'll go for the 40 this week.
What's going on? Why are these people out here shooting each other? I mean, is there anything based on what you see, based on what you know? Is there anything that we can do to stop this?
You know what surprises me though? That the kids. I say kids because they really are like kids. Like it's 13 and 14-year-olds doing.
So did I. Got a
Burglaries,
$67
car
oil
burglaries,
change yesterday.
holding people at
Was not
gunpoint.
expecting that because it was not.
And it's
that
like-
last time.
I don't know. Where y'all parents at? I mean, I don't expect a 13, 14-year-old to be working part-time, but I don't expect you to be robbing somebody at gunpoint either and threatening to shoot them. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it's not all the parents' faults. So I don't know. That's a question that I ain't got the answer to.
So you're seeing a lot of like really there is some Raven. There is some buzzing or something. I don't know if it's something over there that's on or not, but I hear a little bit of buzzing. If it might just be in my headphones. So you're saying that it is the like really young kids out here that you see doing the majority of the violence and all that stuff.
Yeah, like kids that I know in Chicago personally, like it's kids that are under 18, so they get a slap on the wrist. They get caught robbing somebody at gunpoint, do a shooting, they get a slap on the wrist. They back out doing the same thing, and I think that's how the cycle kind of goes.
Is that the same thing here in the Natty?
The nasty natty. I mean, I don't know. I know Chicago, we don't have the best prosecutor. She's been on the, she didn't get some controversies. I don't know how they prosecute here, but I know in Chicago it's like, I don't know why they don't, do more, emphasize the consequences though. I'm not sure.
But I mean, I know you out there because you're with, you guys over there on the Wiz. You have a different audience than we have over here.
Right.
Your audience is like irresponsible as hell. And no, I'm just playing. But you have that young audience, and at least from my perception or a lot of our perception, that's the audience that's out there doing all of the bad stuff. Like it's not all of it, of course, but the majority of the bad stuff. And I know you guys are out there in the streets, and you're talking to people, and you're seeing that you're in the schools, you're at the colleges, you guys are in the streets.
Right.
And is it the same thing, the same young people doing things here in Cincinnati, or is that not quite as much?
I would say it is. Like it's even, I don't want to say, but even when you look at like the public figures that these kids kind of idolize, they're like younger and younger. Like there's a 21-year-old rapper. I don't even think he's 21. He's 20. But biggest streaming numbers, don't get no radio play. But he talks about, you know what I'm saying, his life in the streets. Kids idolize that. And not saying that it's the music's fault, but I mean,
It plays a role.
It plays a role. Like that's what they kind of look at. They got it so much on their phone they can Google his name, see his music videos in there, They got the power to do that so quick. So I mean, that's an element to consider. But yeah, that's a loaded question.
All right. No, I was just curious. I saw you walking by. I know, the young people, they love some Tatum takeover and all of that kind of stuff. And I just thought, maybe you would know something.
I don't got the answers.
All right. Tell people, and people are mad at me. Why ain't he on camera? I didn't know. I would have had. I have an additional camera that I would have had set up for him, but yeah, he's not on camera. He's not on camera. I'm gonna have him come over here and get in front of this camera.
Okay then.
In a minute, but pull that mic on over here so they can get in over some more. Yeah, get over some more, a little bit more. Yeah, right there. Now, tell the people, where can they catch the Tatum Takeover? Where can they hear you on air?
All right, so the Tatum Takeover is the most lit show.
They can't see you now. You got to stoop down just a little bit.
Okay,
Right.
so the Tatum Takeover is the most lit show. I do Friday nights, 10 to 2 on the Wiz. I do 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday and 4 to 7 on Sunday as well. So I keep your weekend lit. So, check me out. Tatum Takeover.
All right.
You might have to explain what lit means to these folks, Tatum.
He ain't got to explain. They know what lit mean.
They didn't know what keep the same energy mean.
They know what lit mean. It means he smoke weed. Everybody know. Everybody know what that means. Thank you, Tatum. All right. 513-749-1230. We got shootings and stuff going on here. And I be trying to talk to the people who might know a little something about what's going on. I know some of y'all saying, won't you go out there in the streets and talk to those people, the people who actually doing the shooting? I ain't trying to get shot. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to the people who talk to the people.
Imagine walking up to somebody who you have a suspicion is out here doing any of this shooting and asking them questions about why they shooting. They go think you police.
Yeah. But all right, 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. There are a lot of things going on in the world. There are a lot of things going on in the world. And one of the biggest things going on in the world, I don't think people are looking at it the right way. I don't think people are looking at it the right way. Well, one of the biggest things in the news, I guess I should say, is John Gruden, coach of the Raiders. I honestly didn't know he was back coaching. But yeah, he resigned. I read the stories. A couple days ago, I was reading stories about this, where he called somebody from the NFL Players Association, said he had lips that looked like the Goodyear tire man or Goodyear tires or Michelin, something like that. He was making some racist jokes about the man's lips. Well, this guy, he had to resign. I don't believe he just said, you know what, this is horrible what I did. I'm going to step down. No, not what happened. He was forced into resignation. But it wasn't because of the lips comment. It wasn't because he's racist. It was because they perceive him as being homophobic. Because some more stuff came out about him saying things about what's the name, Goodell and Michael Sam, that first openly gay guy and all of that kind of stuff. Stuff came out where he was saying stuff about that. You can survive being a racist in America. And somebody was saying, why do they keep opening up their mouth about their racist views? It's America. They know they can get away with being a racist. Everybody knows that. You can say that man got big lips, like the Michelin man tire, whatever.
I think the phrase was Michelin man lips.
But if you say somebody is the F word or talk bad about homosexuality in 2021, now you would get in some trouble. I mean, he was in some trouble. The lip thing didn't help him. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I was reading one of the articles. And one of the articles, he was saying, I think after, I'm gonna guess after a game on Sunday, he had a press conference. I'm assuming it was after a game. And he was like, look, I didn't come here. I don't intend on answering questions about these. I done said what I had to say. I apologized. I said I'm not a racist. I shouldn't have said it. I'm not going to keep defending myself about these comments. And when he said that in the press conference, he's like, look, I apologize. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have said it. I'm not a racist. End of story. Y'all know he would have got away with that, right? And I'm not the only one who understands that. And y'all do understand this is what Dave Chappelle was talking about, right? Y'all get that, right? And just, I know people mad at Dave Chappelle. Some people are mad at Dave Chappelle. But Dave Chappelle was telling y'all the truth. Dave Chappelle was telling y'all the truth. It is our duty. It is our duty, I feel like, to point out some of these things, because some people might not understand it. Like, oh, somebody's saying it happened in 2011. Not the point. Not the point. The point that I'm making, and the point that Mr. Chappelle was making, is in America, you can say whatever you want to say for the most part about black people. You can't publicly say the N-word and just get away with it. But everything else you can do. But as it stands right now, you can't say what people perceive to be homophobic comments. And I gotta ask the same question that Dave Chappelle asked. How did their movement get such traction so quickly? How? What is it that they're doing that we're not doing? And look, I get it. I really do understand it to a certain degree. You got a lot of white homosexuals and transgenders and all of that kind of stuff. You got a lot of those people are white. Because trust me, if the only people who were trans and bi and gay and all of that kind of stuff were black people, they would be in the same boat as us.
And it's why those people who are among those groups who happen to be black or any other minority typically face the brunt of most of that community's burdens.
But hold on, let me get a break in here. Gotta take a break. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
All the news and information you need is just a click away at thebuzz.com.
Y'all, I'm sorry.
Go in the bathroom. Be right back.
Everybody heard that. I'm sorry that I had the wrong mic on at the beginning of the show when Tatum and myself were talking. I apologize for that. I didn't. He's typically not here until at night. So to see him, and we had a conversation, so I wanted to get him in here. But I apologize for messing up the audio for y'all. I don't know that she realized that her mic was on.
Ben waited 1 year. Tyson waited 3 years. Mia waited 3 months. Bill waited 8 months. We remember all of those people who died waiting because their life-saving call never came. Their deaths left an empty spot in the lives of those that cared about them.
But yeah, a lot of people like, oh yeah, he had to resign. He said that racist stuff. I'm like, no, he didn't have to resign after saying the racist stuff. The racist stuff was all right. He just had to explain that he wasn't racist. All you got to do is claim, I'm not racist. Okay, cool. He didn't have to resign after that. That quote unquote homophobic stuff came out. He can't just come out and say, I'm not homophobic. No, you got to go. You got to go for that. And I know what it was 10 years ago. It don't matter. It don't matter.
It's been so inspiring to see so many lives change at the Cable Academy. Matt, a former student, says they truly care about you as a person. Ryan said they took me from no coding experience to creating my own websites. So many great stories. Cable Academy is a locally based program.
But good afternoon to everyone. Oh, hold on a second. Everyone checking the show out.
No job, no pay.
So many settings. All right, let me turn her mic off. So when she comes back, y'all don't necessarily hear everything she's saying unless she wants y'all to hear what she's saying. I believe it was his brother who coached the Bengals. Jay, and then didn't Jay end up going and coaching Washington after he left the Bengals? And his son apparently is on staff with the Raiders still. Oh, she's not back. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. .5, the Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 513-749-1230. That's the number to get on board. All right, I just saw somebody walking by. Hold on, who was that walking by? It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. 749-1230 is the number to get on board. A lot of stuff going on, and we got to get into it. A little bit of coronavirus information, just a little bit. CPS says their policy is working. They say that they have a 99.99% compliance rate. 99.99% compliance rate. On the surface, you look at that and you say, that's amazing. Amazing. Well, it's kind of amazing. It's okay. What do you mean it's okay? 99.99%. But let's not forget what their policy is. It's not hard to have a 99.99% compliance rate with their policy. See, the trick is their policy works. They have a, what would you call it? A vaccine mandate, but not really. Like they're like, look, everybody, you got to get vaccinated. Well, unless you have a medical exemption, or unless you have a religious exemption, or unless you just don't want to. Yeah, that's their whole policy. That's the policy. You must get vaccinated. Unless you don't want to, and then you don't have to. So
then why even bother putting that out?
It's not hard to say we have a 99.99% compliance rate when the policy is you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. The people who don't want to do it, they just have to go get tested every week. Come in and say, show the results. Because the purpose of the policy is truly just to try to keep people safe. We don't want you in here with this virus spreading it around. And if you go get tested and you don't have it, we don't have no problem. They have 87% vaccinated or partially vaccinated. And that's fine. Everybody else is not vaccinated. They either have a religious exemption or a medical exemption, or they just don't want to, so they don't have to.
I'm just maybe I'm not as understanding of these policies as other people might be, because to me none of this makes any sense.
Why not?
We all do know, I feel like maybe people just either have selective understanding or memory or whatever, but we all know that you can still catch COVID vaccinated, correct?
Yes.
So this policy of either get vaccinated or take a test every week, if we're vaccinated or not, we all should be taking a test every week if that's going to be the standard, because we all can be walking around this office or this studio or this hospital or wherever, or this school or wherever else, carrying or either having COVID or whatever various variants there are now. Like, it's not making sense to me. Like, I just want it to make sense, because it doesn't make sense.
Well,
how are we letting policies go forward that don't make sense?
It's not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense. Now, my feeling is that some of these policies are power moves. Some of them are economic moves, but they're all to push a narrative. And of course, the narrative is get vaccinated. That's the narrative. That's what they want everybody to do. Get vaccinated. So they'll argue that the point of getting vaccinated is to keep everybody safe and all that kind of stuff.
That doesn't make sense based on the policy that's being pushed forward. That doesn't like the policy that is being pushed forward. That does not line up with what is being said. Because they don't correlate. Clearly, the policy being put forward where either you have to be vaccinated or get tested once a week or once a month or however the frequency is for your individual company. It doesn't support what's being said, the reason that's being given. Because if that was it, everybody, every employer would be pushing and encouraging their employees, period, to go get tested weekly, whether you're vaccinated or not. Because again, as we just agreed, you can still get it while vaccinated, no matter whether your symptoms may or may not be affected by being vaccinated. You can still get it.
But then it doesn't make the vaccinated people feel superior.
Why? To what ends?
I don't know. Some people like to feel better than other people. And, there are some people who they're vaccinated, they feel superior. And, you gotta roll with that. You got to roll with it.
It's weird to me that, like, people are going along with it. Like, something that makes completely no sense. You're being given what sounds like a compassionate, caring, benevolent reason, but it makes no sense when you look at the procedure. And it bothers me because it's not making sense to me.
But that's what
that don't make sense to me.
That's what we do. We follow. It doesn't have to make sense. If they say it enough, if they put it on the news and the newscasters say it enough, if everybody just keeps saying it, we buy it. That's just what we do.
And this is not even me like saying that people shouldn't get the vaccine. I'm just making a factual, intelligent point. If we can still get the virus by being vaccinated, shouldn't we all be getting regularly tested?
I would think so, but that don't play that well. What are you telling me? I'm vaccinated. Why I got to get tested? I'm better than those people are. Just get them tested. Yeah.
Makes absolutely no sense.
Hey, it don't have to make sense. It just is. And again, we accept it. Just like the conversation yesterday, where there are people who genuinely believe you just do whatever police say do. If they say do it, just do it. Why? Well, because that's probably what they were taught, what was said growing up. We don't question things. We just believe what they tell us, and we just roll with it. Sorry, y'all, that's just the way it happens. Let me get a break in here. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Halloween is coming early, and the law offices of Blake Maisley and Coke Zero want to see you pull up to pop your trunk for treats.
Your mic is on, by the way.
Huh?
That wireless. Yeah, that's on.
It's on? Okay.
And Tanisha says, that's whack to feel superior over others because you receive vaccine. Who wants to see people sick or dying? A lot of people actually do. And Tanisha, a lot of people. Let me see. Somebody else said, just get the shot. It's like when you need to get vaccinated before you go to school. Juanita, everyone doesn't get the shot before they go to school, and they're allowed to go to school. And I know that sounds foreign to you, but it actually happens. But I know, because that's not what you've been told. So you just roll with what you've been told. Bridget says, because the people without the vaccine are more likely to get it. It's not about feeling superior. Stop it. Bridget, I don't know that there's any factual basis behind what you just said. I don't know if there's any factual basis behind what you just said. Somebody told you that, didn't they? You heard it and you believed it. And so now you're repeating it. Okay. That happens. I get it. Kamikia says, how do y'all know it wasn't his misogynistic emails showing naked women that tipped the scale? Because that doesn't make sense. I'm not sure why we need to pick and choose. All those emails were inappropriate. Yeah, but they didn't all cause him to be to have to resign. That's just the truth. Just the truth. But we can pretend. Let me pretend with you. Pretending is fun. Yeah, it was misogyny. Because in this country, being misogynistic is horrible. Nobody's misogynistic in this country. Man, that pretending was fun. It was fun for a minute. Carl says, do what police say so you don't get hurt. See, that's the stuff I'm talking about. That's what he's heard. Somebody told him that, so he believed it, and so now he repeats it. You have rights. You have them for a reason. You have rights. And so what? You just do whatever a police tells you to do whatever, and you just do it because he's a police officer. That's what I'm saying. You heard it. You believed it. You repeat it. You actually probably live by it. But Kamikia says, a deeper investigation caused his resignation. No. The deeper investigation, allegedly, revealed the other emails. And it's the other emails about the homophobic stuff that caused his resignation. But again, we can pretend if we'd like to. Yeah, they did a really deep investigation, and that's why. That's why. Yes.
There are other ways to help protect yourself and your loved ones against certain diseases. Vaccines can help and are not only important for babies and young children, but throughout your entire lifetime. To learn more about vaccines for all stages of life, talk to your healthcare professional today. A public service.
Cedric says, irresponsible information. The vaccinated and non-vaccinated, stop it. Stop jumping. Are not like variables. It is absolutely true they can both still catch the virus, but the chances of getting the virus decrease with the vaccine. You don't know that to be true. There are few guarantees in life. Everything we do is about odds, percentages, especially when it comes to medicine. That's actually not true either.
Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org. Get informed and stay informed all day. We're your talk station, 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati.
$35 minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati is your talk station. Afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Got a few things on the table. Let me get a phone call in here, and I got a few other things that I want to discuss. Blade, you're on the buzz.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey, I come from.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Blade.
And yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Start all over.
Okay, just give me a minute. And it's very important what you're talking about. I think the solution is easy, but we don't want to get out there and solve the issue. We're asking the wrong people for solutions. Still in Chicago, majority of them cats that came out of Chicago are either fake gangsters to play gangsters on the radio, or lived in the suburbs and never lived in the trenches. Chicago, I forgot where the jail is. It has the highest blacks in the jail in the country. Everybody knows that. These cats down there are not getting away. A lot of cats are being locked up. A lot of stuff in Chicago is being perpetrated by saying it's black, but it ain't black. But who knows? Another thing is these 12 and 13-year-old cats that are doing this, they must be dealt with like adults. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to say that, but if a young cat goes out here, 12, 13, and put a gun to somebody's head and blow their brains out, he got to be dealt with. I'm tired of hearing it's the mother's fault or it's not his fault. If he takes a gun and blows somebody's brain out, it's his fault. I know y'all hate to hear this word. Some of these young cats got to be purged. This point blank. We got some bad seeds out there. Oh yeah, and also
wait. All right.
Go ahead.
Let's examine this just a little bit. You said some of these young cats need to be purged. What does that mean to you?
They need to be taken off the streets.
So what? And when you say taken off the streets how?
I know I hate to say it, any means necessary, because they are taking too many innocent lives.
So you're hold on.
Go ahead.
So you're advocating potentially going around killing 13, 14-year-olds in the streets.
That's not what I said.
That's why it's called a question. You can say, no, that's not what I'm advocating. This is what I'm advocating. Do you know what a question is?
I'm trying to be serious.
So am I. But you keep talking about purging people, and you never really say what you mean by that.
Okay, I thought I did.
No.
If a young cat goes into the innocent life, he must be purged off the street. Just point blank.
And by by purged off the street, what do you mean?
Locked up.
Okay.
Okay, and then another thing I was thinking what the one cat was saying. Reason why a lot of young cats got guns in their hands because the streets, young older gangsters are having them doing it because they feel they will won't get they will get a light sentence and they will let them out. So that's what in order to nip that in the bud, young cat, if you take a life, you need to spend a life in jail, and whoever gave you that gun, they need to spend a life in jail. I mean, that's how we're going to clean it up, because we keep on talking about this, and there's a lot of women are getting killed by young cats, 12, 13, because robberies go wrong, because, if you trying to steal a woman's purse or shoes or whatever, she's going to fight back, and then the young boys are panicking, and they killing them. So we got to purge them. This is point blank. Oh, yeah, one more thing. You had a cat call in and said, because I'm not radical like him, he wants to bring back slavery. He said he wants to bring back the chain gang. J. Rob, or whatever his name is.
I heard that, yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't understand the first, he's cool, but I think something wrong with him. Why he's so hard on blacks, but he let the white man say about 4 or 5 times what Don Amos said about our black women. And if you listen to that call, because he called you yesterday, the white man, fake retired policeman, was trying to be funny, what he was saying, how he got off them racial slurs, and nobody caught it. You know what I'm talking about?
I heard that as well, yeah.
Yeah, so, why is it that, a white man can call on the radio and say, I'm going to hang you, and don't do nothing. But if somebody black say something, we real hard on him. I mean, he losing his touch. Peace out, bro. Peace out.
All right. That was Blade. And yeah, that was Blade. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. I think a lot of people, they might not agree, to the extent that he's saying, but the idea of these young people out here committing crimes. Because it's real. It's real. There are 13 and 14-year-olds out here with guns, committing crimes, doing stuff that they don't have any business doing. Are you in agreement? You 13, you 14, you out there in these streets, you take a life, you spend life in jail? I don't like that. I don't like that. I would understand somebody feeling that way. I mean, you're fully aware of what you're doing. You out here killing people. So I would understand why people feel that way, but I still think at 13, 14, 15, you're still a young person. You're juvenile. You're redeemable.
You just made it into puberty.
You're under the influence of the society and the things around you, but you're still quite redeemable at 13, 14, 15, 16.
But is there an age at which a person is no longer redeemable?
Is there an age at which someone's not redeemable? I would say,
if we're talking about somebody being redeemable, there's no age limit on that.
There is an age, I think, that we look at it and we say, by this age, you should have known better. By this age, you should have had enough experiences and something inside of you should have told you no. So to say they're not redeemable, I guess they're redeemable, but there is an age, I think, where we look at it and we say, you should have known better, and you have to be held fully accountable for your actions. No excuses, no nothing. But I don't know that at 13 or 14 or 15 years old, that's that age. I don't think that's that age. I don't think a life in prison is fine for a 13-year-old. No matter how heinous the crime, actually. I don't believe at the age of 13 or 14, those young people should be eligible for a life sentence in prison. I mean, they keep...
So what is that age for you?
Ooh. It's not...
A lot of times, I don't feel like 18 is, like, old enough.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not 18. It's not 18. But I don't know. Why are you asking me questions to make me think?
That's what I'm here for.
Oh. I don't know.
Would you say 25?
I would definitely say... I would say 25, yes. I would say 25. I want to go a little younger than 25.
23?
You should know better. You should know better by... I'm going to go with 25.
At 23, you should know better, but have you had enough experiences to really feel the depths of the consequences at 23? Because I feel like I didn't know nothing. I just started knowing a little bit of something, and I'm 28 now. So I feel like even at 25, I didn't know nothing. Like, I thought I knew some stuff. I thought I was convicted about some stuff, and here I am at 28, like, nah, he was tripping. So that's why I have to ask the question, when is redeemable? Because people change. People, and this is the thing, too. It gets very tricky when you start trying to measure other people's growth. Because people grow at different rates. People mature at different rates. People have different experiences at different times in life. So when you're trying to figure out whether or not somebody's life is redeemable, you have to be able to, like, very meticulously look through their life, look through their experiences, and make that decision. Something which I don't think our current law enforcement even tries to do, especially for children that for the children that look like me. So I don't trust our law enforcement to tell me whether or not a child or even a 23 or a 25-year-old is redeemable or not.
But there's got to be a time when we look at this stuff and we say, no excuses, no nothing. You have to be held fully accountable for your actions. And if your actions were so heinous that we need to put you in jail for the rest of your life, there's got to be a time when we make that call. All right, let me take a break. Hold on, Lee. Hold on, Lawrence. And hold on you if you call 513-749-1230. Some people are saying 21. At 21, no excuses. The only question I would ask you if you're saying 21, could you look at yourself at 21 and say, at the age of 21, I believe I was wise enough to be held accountable for all of my decisions, fully accountable? And if so, then okay, I get it. If not, all right. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. Let me get a break in. It's the Afternoon Experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home presents the Black Business Spotlight. Nominate your favorite Black-owned business or entrepreneur to be in the Black Business Spotlight each month. The Buzz and Walker Funeral Home wants to acknowledge those businesses and individuals who...
Cedric City, man, that sounds like the death penalty. What sounds like the death penalty? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I haven't mentioned death penalty. So help, I'm not saying you're wrong. Help me understand what you're saying. Preston says Miss Clinton called them super predators, and then we have things like 3 strike laws and juveniles being tried as adults, etc. Harsh. And good afternoon, DeWanda and Tanika. Carl says, no excuses for all these guns. Y'all know we not getting rid of the guns, right? Guns are not going away. The companies ain't going to stop making them. The people ain't going to stop buying them. And the people who profit from them ain't going to stop selling them.
What?
Guns.
Oh.
And the people in communities all around America is not going to stop having access to them. So when we're asking, where are the guns coming from? Where are the guns coming from? Unless something is happening that I don't know nothing about, we are not getting rid of the guns.
Dad doesn't hold up their end of the parental duties. Well, Kemi Marie on Twitter says she always thought it was important to keep her son in contact with his father until she realized the father's inconsistency was harming her son's mental
E-Man said he don't know. What?
Kemi Marie goes on to say that the moment she decided to protect her son, it's...
Maurice, I don't know if you listen often, but if I don't know something, I always say I don't know. I'm not one of those people who honestly thinks he knows everything. I'm one of those people who always think I'm right. There's a difference. And I will never be one of those people who says things that he does not think is right. I would never, ever become that person.
Emanuel, question that's floating around the internet right now. I feel like I already know your answer, but just want to hear you say it. What do you think is better? An inconsistent parent, because the question that I read, it says father, but either parent can be inconsistent. So an inconsistent absentee parent or no parent there at all. So like if you were a father and your baby's mother, she was either inconsistent or not in the picture, and you had the choice. She could either be inconsistent or not in the picture. What would you choose?
It's hard for me to even process the question. And I don't know that it would be right for me to choose. I don't know that it would be right for me to choose.
I mean, what do you think is better for a child?
I don't think either. I don't think either is better. Ten minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. With your talk station, it's the Afternoon Experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. And just for the record, I have to put it out there because people keep saying it. I always think I'm right. Everything I say, I think is right. They say it as an insult, but I take it as a compliment. So, just so you know, I'm the king of talk, and I always think I'm right. On the other side of the glass is Raven Monday.
Who knows he's not always right, and is okay with that.
That is still not true. But yeah, she's over there, and we're having conversations today. Now, you asked me a question on the break.
Just a question that I briefly see floating around on the internet, and I see it here and there. But the question itself asks, if you were, it was very phrased, but I tried to switch it up because I feel like because of my situation, I know that either or could happen. But the question that was asked was, if you are a child, if you are the parental figure in a child's life, like the constant parental figure, and let's say that you are the baby mama, if your baby's father was inconsistent or was not involved at all, what do you think is the best decision for that child? So do you continue to let that child's father be inconsistent, or again, because I tried to flip it, if that child's mother or father, if they are inconsistent presence wise in that child's life, you as that parent, you as that guardian, do you continue to let that parent be inconsistent, or do you just cut all communication, all ties from your child? And what is better for the child, mentally, emotionally, all that good stuff? That's kind of the question that's been floating around, and that's what I asked you.
And I don't think you ever, as a parent, and this is just me, unless the other parent is doing harmful things to the child or putting the child in harmful situations, if they selling crack with the kid sitting there, or, trading the kid for crack, okay. That's the only, I know, but I'm saying that's the only time that I think that you say you can't see your kid. If you're inconsistent, look, you just be inconsistent. And the way I see it, eventually the child growing up, and the child sees that, and if the child wants to not have anything to do with that parent, let the child make that decision. But as the parent, no, you don't step in and do anything. Now, which is more harmful?
So you just allow the child to kind of go through the mental anguish and the emotional anguish of having that inconsistent parent?
Yes, you do. You don't block a parent, like I said, unless they're being harmful to the child.
But most people would agree that that's harmful.
That might be hurtful.
Not physically harmful, but it is harmful.
That might be hurtful. But that's a different hurtful than what I'm saying harmful. The child might be hurt. The child might actually be emotionally scarred. But you don't tell a parent who's not harming their child, you can't see your child. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. If they're inconsistent, they're inconsistent. But as long as the inconsistency, when you come around, you trying to teach them gang life. When you come around, you trying to show them how to do bad stuff. And if that's the case, no, you can't see my kid. But if they come around and they're loving or, doing their best when they're around, but they just not consistent, no, you still don't. And which would I prefer? I would prefer neither, of course.
Of course.
But being around and inconsistent, because being around and inconsistent still leaves room. It still leaves room. Later on in life, you reconnect and you figure out different things, or you don't know when that person will change it up and be consistent. So I'll take inconsistent over just not there.
I think, when I originally asked you this question, I said I knew what your answer was going to be, and I was correct. But I it's funny because what I thought my answer would be as I'm listening to you talk has changed, because as I'm sitting here thinking about my situation, my father was very inconsistent in my life. And as you just said, you know, for a very long time I did feel like, well, why was he even like there if he wasn't going to be consistent? Why was he even like, why did he even show his face if he wasn't going to consistently show his face and be present? And it's funny, like you just said, all these years later before his passing, in like the beginning of this year, I felt like, well, you didn't need, why? And it made it even more difficult for me to get to a point where we could sit down and have conversations and really discuss why it was that he was inconsistent. And I really got an understanding for why it was he was inconsistent. And I was able to start that process of forgiveness and understanding, because I was maturing and becoming a human and understanding life more myself. So I guess I do agree with you that it does definitely leave room, because y'all hear me talk about, you know, my relationship with my father all the time, but y'all never hear me talk about my mother, because she was just never there. And so there is no room there. And I don't know when I'll be able to fix that situation, because I don't even know where to begin with that situation, because she just was never there.
All
so
right.
I think I do agree with you.
All right. Told you I'm always right. 749-1230. Let me go to the phone. Let me get Lee in here. Lee, you're on the buzz. Lee? I don't hear anything. Is the phone's on? There we go. Lee.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Good. I wanted to first start off by thanking you for this conversation, this community conversation. We need to talk about children using guns and killing each other and killing people in the community. Yes. This is a conversation that is well overdue, that needs to be talked about. So thank you.
Well,
thank you for this forum. You know, I've been working in social service and other things for a very long time. And what I'm finding out is, especially with children, it's not so much, it's parental, but it's also the influences in the community. And I was one of the clients that I work with, it showed me something on the internet that just blew me away. And I'm not sure if Raven's heard of this. Rave? No, it's called drill music. Have you ever heard of drill music?
Drill music?
Yes, it originated in Chicago, I believe.
I watched the video and I could not believe what I was seeing. Raven, you probably can explain it better than I, because I'm another generation. But it is, they were videos of young teenagers, and there's rap music underneath it, but those teenagers were holding guns to other teenagers' heads.
Oh.
Yes. And this is on the internet. It originated in Chicago, but it's all over. So that is what our children are listening to and watching. And that has become, I think, an influence, just like other rap music was, and for me, jazz, and all those other things have influenced. That's what is influencing them. I really believe that. And it is dangerous. We need to get to the point, I think, of also not just talking about it, but finding ways to prevent this from happening. How, I don't know right now, but it's got to happen. But anyway.
All right. I will look into this drill music stuff. All right.
Okay. All right.
I appreciate the call. I'll look into it. I mean, was her depiction accurate?
Somewhat. It originated in Chicago. It's definitely dominating hip hop right now, for sure. Like its signature is everywhere on current rap music. It's some violent, raw, uncut type of rap music. Like it's the new generation's gangster rap. That's the best way I can explain it. And it is definitely some very violent stuff and some very, you know, it's not something that I feel like parents would prefer for their children to listen to. I think if you let your child listen to it, you definitely just gonna have to take the time out to explain to them that, like, this ain't the life you live in, so I don't want to see you out here trying to emulate none of this stuff. But it's pretty violent.
Drill music. All right. Y'all look it up. Y'all look it up. I want y'all to give me a full report as well. And I'm going to check it out. Never heard of it. First time ever hearing of it.
That's funny because it's been around for years now.
When I heard drill music, I thought something sexual.
I figured as much.
Yeah. So
I could see the look in your eyes.
Was there a look in my eyes?
It was. People on Facebook Live know what I'm talking about.
Let me get a break. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WD. Cincinnati, home of the afternoon experience with Emanuel Livingston and keeping it real with Al Sharpton. Weekdays on 12:30 a.m. 101.5 FM. The Buzz of Cincinnati, your talk station.
Good afternoon.
Drill music.
This is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. The Cincinnati Zoo is paying tribute to a young boy who lost his life earlier this year. Oliver Nicholson was born with a series of rare birth defects that led to his passing at the age of 1. With the zoo's sloth Lightning pregnant, Oliver's family had pressed the keepers to name the baby after the young boy who had been a fan of the animals. Lightning delivered a stillborn pup on Sunday, but yesterday the Cincinnati Zoo renamed the sloth habitats as the Oliver Nicholson Memorial Sloth Habitats. And one person is dead and another is hospitalized with life-threatening injuries after...
Told y'all, if somebody ain't singing,
the incident happened
I'm not really listening to it, so I don't be knowing this stuff.
A female victim was found dead at the scene while a male victim was taken to UC Medical Center for treatment. There has been no word on a suspect. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique.
Yeah, that's what I thought of when I heard drill music.
Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877
Somebody getting drilled.
or visit mad.org.
Like they got music that they have.
101.5
We called them. Minutes after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. All right, let me get Anita and Lawrence in here. Of course, you know I got a few other things that I want to discuss with you. Anita, you're on the buzz.
Hi, how are you?
I am well, and you?
Good. I just wanted to say something about the children and the parents, whether it be father or mother, in their life. I kind of agree. I definitely agree with you. Even if it's inconsistent, you need to leave that door open.
Yes.
You know, this is a personal experience. I like to do without crying. But my daughter's father, he never was consistent. And I want to say it don't help to say, well, your daddy don't do this, or your daddy ain't this, or your daddy ain't that. I never did that. I just left the door open at the time. This is a time when there were landlines. I never changed my phone number. I never did anything. So whenever you decide you want to be in her life, you're never going to be able to say, well, your mama didn't let me, or your mama wouldn't let me see you. I never did that. And it's strange because the rest, his mother, the grandmother, the aunts, all of them had a relationship with my daughter. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, not him. And I mean, there were years when I would, wrap up presents and, and put his name on them. And after a while, I thought, I'm not doing that. But I'm never going to say, well, he ain't this and he ain't that. And so she just kept going. Fortunately, I got married later, and he was a great stepfather. And one day she came to me, she was probably about 9 then, and she said, is it all right if I call him Daddy? And I said, it's up to you, sweetheart, because he's been here. He was the one who walked the floor with you when you were sick. He took you to school. He was at every play, everything. And so she continued. She started calling my husband Dad. And she never, ever really asked me anything about her real father. Even though she knew where he was, he knew where she was. And he got sick. And he had the audacity to send for her because he knew he was getting ready to die. And I said to her, if you want to go, I'll go with you. You understand? Or you can go by yourself. And she, after a couple of days, she said, he had never come to see me. And I keep saying to myself, if it were me, if I were dying, would he come? And I said, well, I can't answer that to you, sweetheart. And she didn't go. And he died. And I kept saying, you okay? And she said yes. She went to the funeral. And she looked at him. And she walked away and she said, that's fine. So, I don't know if that helps anybody, but don't do it. Let them come, let them not come, but don't let them be able to say to any child, well, your mama didn't or your daddy didn't, or I would have done if she hadn't done this or she didn't do that. Not only that, we thought about child support. I kept every paper, every court date paper I kept. So if it would ever come up, you understand, once she got grown, if she wanted to see, you understand how hard I fought for her, I wanted her to be able to see it. Fortunately, we never got to that point. But again, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know it's easy to say, well, the H with him, he ain't do this and he ain't that. And I had girlfriends who did that. And you wind up being the enemy. Right. Because the kid winds up saying, well, they make this person who's absent this great person because in their mind they want this person to be the great person. I mean, even a kid who has a parent who is horrible would love to be with that parent still.
Yeah.
So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
All right. Well, Anita, I appreciate the story, and I wholeheartedly respect the decisions that you made. How old is your daughter now?
She's gonna kill me. She's 40 years old now, and she's fine. She's got her own house, her own job, her own car. You understand?
Yeah.
She was married for a while. She's divorced now, but their dad is different.
Good.
He's always there. Whenever they call him, he's there. I'm still married. She still calls my husband Dad, and we seem to be cool. Sometimes I think maybe me and her should have really talked about this, but she's never brought it up. And I hope she's all right with it.
And she probably is here. What I figured out dealing with situations similar to that is eventually kids, and it might take even a little longer until they're teenagers or maybe even adults, but eventually, like if you keep the door open and you're honest with them, they figure it out. Out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anita,
right. Yes, sir.
I appreciate your call.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
749-1230. It's the afternoon experience. Yeah, I appreciate that call. Because there really are people who be wondering stuff like that. Like, oh, what should I do? Just be honest with kids. Like, you ain't got to tell kids everything. They don't understand everything. But if you're honest with kids, eventually, for whatever reason, somehow they figure it out. When the kids said, would he have come for me? Would he have come for me? Kids ask those questions. They're a lot smarter sometimes than we give them credit for. And I like the fact that, she didn't attack the absent parent or inconsistent parent. She just allowed the child to see it for themselves. That's why I say I wouldn't close that door. 749-1230, that's the number to get on board. Lawrence, you're on the buzz.
All right, black man. Let me say this. I'm going to throw a lot on your plate and give you some good topics and talking points. Yeah. First of all, let me start from the top. I'm going to start writing all this stuff down, G. But here's the point. I got off the phone with a brother that's up in Dallas, a sergeant. Been a detective. Well, he's been a cop for what?
Hold on a second. I'm having a hard time understanding you for some reason.
Maybe I wasn't talking loud enough. You hear me better now, don't you?
Okay, sure.
Okay, here's the point. We were talking, and I told him the topic of conversation that we had yesterday about being a cop. You know when I told you that if you don't like the way the police are doing things, then be a cop and put some skin in the game. I knew the brother was going to agree with me because 99, I ain't heard no cop say, no, that ain't it. If you're going to criticize me on how I run my business, then you got to be able to run my business better than I run my business.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Okay. If you're going to criticize me for being a parent, you got to be a better parent than me, or at least as good a parent as me. Do you agree with that?
No.
Damn, bro. Yeah, you know what? Then, Emanuel, you got to understand this. And I hope you do fact check this. But first of all, Raven, when we come up to Ohio, I'm going to tell you about my background.
You already told us about your background.
No,
we know.
No, brother. I ain't even touched
13
Raven
kids.
We know. Raven said some serious stuff, and it struck a chord with me, you know. And I just tell you this, Raven, you ain't alone. That's the black experience, girl. What you got, what you had a little taste of, that's the black experience. There's a lot of us who've been down that road that you went down, and
what are you talking about? What you talking about?
I'm talking about her, how she was raised, and you know, basically.
Wait, stop. That is not the black experience. It's not. It's
okay, Emanuel.
It happens, but that is not the black experience.
Over 70% of the babies born in the black community are born to a single parent, bruh. Where do you think all of this comes from?
Oh my God.
All of this. Here's another question. I got to ask you this. Down here a few days ago, we had a little 18-year-old bring a 45, shoot the 15-year-old who beat the hell out of him in class. It's all over YouTube, Twitter, all that. One of the main things that I asked one of the police, what's his bail? $75,000. I say, what? You shot people? You brought a gun to school and your bail is only $75,000? The other question, where's the man? No parent, no daddy. No daddy for the 15-year-old visible, no daddy for the 18-year-old visible. Women, you know, they saying he was bullied and all that. They don't get it. This is what we talking about, Emanuel. Everything that you talking about, Emanuel, everything Raven talking about, all of this stems from what you said last week. Women making bad choices.
No. Don't do that.
Well, I'm saying what Emanuel said. I ain't talking about you now.
But listen, though. I stopped you because I want you to understand something. My parental situation was not just a woman making a bad choice. It was two grown-ass individuals making terrible choices, both independently and together. So it's not a woman thing, at least in my situation.
Okay. And you know what, Raven, we ain't going to belittle that because, like I said, I'm number 12 out of 13. I have 7 sisters. And what you talking about, believe me, baby, I know firsthand, close up. I got more nieces than I can keep count of. I understand. Believe me. When I come to Ohio, me and the wife, we gonna take y'all out to dinner, and y'all gonna get to know the family. But here's the point that I was getting to. No doggone black men, no male figures in the 18-year-old's life. You got the mother providing you with a Charger. He driving a good Charger, late model Charger. He got diamond in his ear, grill, and his mouth hair. He's 18 years old and he's looking like that. And then you got a 15-year-old who hates him, beats the hell out of him, and the sorry white folks don't know how to deal with young black men. So we get this stuff blown all out of proportion. He brings a gun to school. He shoots. Now, everything about the whole situation pissed me off, and I'm going to speak about it at the city council meeting, right? I'm going on record.
All right.
I'm going on record.
Yes.
He was wrong. The other 15-year-old was wrong.
Hey, Lauren.
The white administrators were wrong.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yeah.
We talked about that when it happened. We're not talking about that now.
Okay, but here's the point. It all comes from not having a positive role model, the black men in the family. My kids and a lot of other black kids were brought up with guns, raised with guns from babies, a gun right there by him. My son will not put a gun in his hand, Emanuel, if you and him get to fighting, unless you go to put one in your hand. I won't put a gun in my hand, Emanuel, if me and you go to fighting, unless you go to put one in your hand. The bottom line of it is, it's about respect, morals, honor. I told my daughter and wife, ask next time you're around somebody, ask them the definition of honor. Do you know the definition of honor, Emanuel?
No, what's the definition of honor?
No, I'm serious, bro. This is not a joke. Do you know the real definition of honor?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Say what you want to say. It ain't about what
I just said what I wanted to say, and then you told me no.
You don't know the definition of honor.
You said, hold on. Let me recap this. Lawrence.
Radio talk.
Oh my God, Lawrence. Let me recap this. You said, Emanuel, do you know the definition of honor? I said, no. What's the definition of honor? You said, no. How do you tell me? I'm telling you, I don't know the definition of honor. What is the definition of honor?
I'll explain it to you like I explained it to the wife and the daughter. And I told them to ask.
Just
the
tell me.
definition of honor is the implication of your morals and your values. If you have solid morals and values, then you represent your morals and values to people you deal with in all your daily dealings. You be honorable. Your morals and values.
You can't use honorable in the definition of honor. What is the definition of honor?
Proper morals and values and the execution of proper morals and values. If your morals and values are proper, you have honor. And if you exhibit good morals and values to the world, you are exhibiting honor to the world. That's simplifying it. That's maybe oversimplifying it. But honor is the essence of what you believe in, your morals and your values.
I think that's morals and values.
Emanuel, when you go out here and you shake people's hand and you don't lie to people, you look them in their eye. That's honorable. That
is honorable.
Yeah, if you shake my hand, look me in the eye and say, hey, Lawrence, hey, my brother. If you come to me correct, that's honor, brother. That's honorable. We can deal with each other on an honorable level.
All right. Lawrence, I'm late. I'm late for a break. I'm late for a break.
Well, come back to me. I got to make this one point.
You had a lot of time to make that point. I got to run.
See, we talking now when you can let me make the point. Here's the point, Emanuel. Let me make it real quick.
I'm going to give you 12 seconds. 12 seconds.
Okay.
Go.
Here's the point, Emanuel. I turned a lot of people on to your radio station. I'm going to be up in Dallas at the police station Thursday. People going to be tuning in at the police station, black people, about your radio. So.
All right. Thank you. I got to take a quick break. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
We've got so much to talk about. We're giving you more ways to listen.
I'm sorry, he couldn't get to the point from patting himself on the back about the people that he done had listen to the radio station. Come on.
In the car, at work, at home. More talk, more ways to listen. We are 101.5, the buzz of Cincinnati, your talk station. Sunday night on TV One.
In the industry, when you're always trying to make sure that the brand is forefront and that you're projecting the right image,
Raven Simone.
I tended to put my gender and sexuality on the back burner.
Uncensored.
I don't have to do that anymore. I won't put that weave in and extra makeup on to make sure somebody was attracted to me in whatever way Hollywood wanted a female
Raven
to
Simone.
look.
Just
All new Uncensored. Raven Simone. Sunday night at 10 on TV One.
Hey, this is Lincoln Ware. If you have a passion to work in radio or television like me, you need to visit Ohio Media School, Cincinnati. Call, schedule a campus tour.
I'm ungrateful. Look, apparently my ratings in Texas are through the roof.
Call right now and schedule a campus tour. Ohio Media School, Cincinnati.
From all of the people, he got all of the police departments all around Texas listening to the show and watching. They don't necessarily show up in the count, but they are watching.
To get the job of your dreams, Ohio Media School, Cincinnati offers flexible class schedules, and there's financial aid for those who qualify. Call right now and start being a professional in what you are most passionate about. Ohio.
And when he comes to Cincinnati,
I won't be here.
oh yeah, you will.
I won't be here.
He is taking you, baby girl, out to dinner.
Joe Cordell. New school, new job, new home. Change is hard and can leave you feeling isolated.
Yeah, Tria, Raven Simone, as the saying goes, rubs me the wrong way.
But you don't have to walk through this alone. Call Cordell & Cordell.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Ohio.
Yeah, Tay. He been coming to Cincinnati for a long time.
Throughout Ohio. 201 East 5th Street, Suite 1410, Cincinnati, Ohio 45202. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
It's Pinktober.
Oh, I need to let Lawrence finish his point.
Members can pick up their chocolate bars for a chance to win a pink ticket.
He called back to let you know that people will be listening Thursday.
People will be listening on Thursday. All right. I got issues with Raven Simone. She said things like when she was on, was it The View she was on? When she was on The View, she used to say some out there stuff. Like, I perceive her as one of those black people who don't like black people. Like, and I keep meaning to talk about Sage Steele. I keep meaning to talk about her, and I keep getting sidetracked. But her and Sage Steele are probably good friends. And I didn't know all of this stuff about Sage Steele. You know, ESPN, you an announcer, you a decent looking chick. You know, that's all I see, a decent looking chick announcing sports. Okay, cool. But I didn't know that she really had beef with black people. Maybe her black side of the family was inconsistent or something. I don't know, but she don't seem to like black people.
I mean, you gotta figure too. She grew up in Hollywood, damn near her whole life, and so I'm more than willing to assume that most of the people that she came in contact with for most of her life have been white people in Hollywood outside of her family. And
But which she are you talking about?
Raven Simone.
Okay.
Like, cause you know she's half white, so like, I'm willing to assume that when she did interact with family, it was most likely the white side of her family for the most part. And like I said, she'd have been in Hollywood since she was a baby, so since Cosby Show. So I'm quite sure, like even on that set, I'm quite sure that most of that cast and crew was probably a whole bunch of white people behind the scenes.
But like Rudy, while she might have some mental issues,
but she wasn't as successful. She
grew up in Hollywood. She don't seem to, at least if she do, she not outspoken.
But she's also a fully black woman, so all of her family and stuff, and she had that background going for her. Raven Simone was a little mixed girl who probably was, like you said, raised mostly by her white side of her family, of course. Hell, half the cast of Cosby Show was mixed. That's why Lisa Bonet ain't exactly what you think of when you think of black woman.
I ain't got no problem with Lisa Bonet. I ain't never heard Lisa Bonet coming out saying bad stuff about.
That's a strong black woman, because you don't get that from her.
Some stuff about that first marriage seemed kind of weird, Shahira. .3 after 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until 3 o'clock. 749-1230 is the number to get on board. Gigi, you're on the buzz. Gigi going once.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
All right, so I'm calling in about this topic, and I feel that you should close the door. Like, if you notice that his absence is starting to affect your child in a negative way, if it's starting to mess with your child's mental health, you got to let it go. Because I've, experienced this with my 6-year-old sitting around waiting for his father day in, day out, sitting with his bags packed, waiting for him to come pick him up week to week, and him never showing up. And when I saw him break down and cry and ask why, I knew it was time to let it go. So sometimes you got to let it go for your child, So
can I suggest in instances like that, it's still don't necessarily you have to let go. Let me suggest this: instead of telling the 6-year-old your daddy coming, you don't tell the 6-year-old.
Right.
And if daddy by some chance shows up, then hey, guess what? Your daddy here. And that saves your child from all of that sitting around with bags packed and all of that kind of stuff.
That's true.
So yeah,
I was told that too. Just don't tell them.
Yeah.
And we told his father, if you know that you're not going to come, don't tell him that you're going to come because he's going to be waiting. So on my end, I stopped like asking my son or talking about his father because he want to hear about it, he want to see him, but I had to stop. I had to let that go because I just didn't want to see him hurt.
And so does your, how old is this child now?
He's 6.
Oh, this is like current.
Yeah, this is current.
Oh, well, may I suggest just thinking about, because, I'm not there. I can't tell you what to do, of course. But can I suggest, you said closing the door. And
as far as, like, reaching out to him, because I would reach out to him, like, every other week and say, hey, he's asking about you. Can you come get him the weekend? Can you spend a little time with him, at least an hour? And you say, oh, yeah, I'm going to come. I'll be there, and never show up. And then, of course, my son would ask about him, and I would do it again. So on my end, I had to stop. I just stopped because if he wants to be a father, he would come forth. He will put in an effort, but he's not. So on my end, I had to let go because at the end of the day, he knows he's a father. He knows he has a son. So why do I have to remind a grown man that he has a child that exists?
Now, I would agree with you on that. I wouldn't think that you should have to remind him. Mm-hmm. However, I don't know that if I were you, and again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I don't know that if I were in your situation, I would be reaching out to the other parent, but that's different than closing the door. Closing the door means don't call my kid, don't be around my kid. You no longer have access to my child.
Yeah, you're right.
But
I mean, if he was to come and say, hey, I want to, like, I would let him know, you have to physically, like, be there. Don't call and say, hey, I'm coming because I know what it's going to be. But, yeah, I see what you're saying. That's true.
Yeah, and if you saying you going to come and get the kid, that's cool. Tell me you going to come and get the kid. I'll have the stuff ready. But if he's already been inconsistent, don't tell the kid, like, your daddy on the way. Just let the kid be surprised by the daddy showing up, if he does show up.
Right. That's true.
All right. Hold on. Can I ask you a personal question? Not that was impersonal, but how did you end up having a child with a person that irresponsible?
Wow. I don't think anybody go into a situation knowing. I didn't know. Like,
did you look for anything?
He comes from, a well-rounded family. His parents are married. Like, he's family-oriented. So I didn't expect this.
Does he have any other children?
He does.
Is he in their lives?
Sort of. But, I
don't know what sort of means.
I don't speak on it because that's a whole nother story. Me and his father was married. So, our situation is a little different, too. So, I was married to this person at one point.
And he had other children and he wasn't involved in their life.
Right. He was involved. It just, like, it wasn't consistent, but he was involved in the child's life. It's just not as bad as what I'm going through. It wasn't as bad.
You thought it would be different, though, for your child because y'all was married. Okay.
Nobody asked for this. You can't really, say what's going to happen. But, it can happen.
You kind of can. You saw what he did with the other children, so you had an idea that this was a part of his personality.
Right.
But you live and you learn, you deal with it, and
you learn. Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Exactly. But don't come down too hard on the mothers because it's not right. The men, they need to grow up.
I agree.
You have to remind a man, to be a father.
All right. Gigi, I appreciate you. Is that the 6-year-old in the background?
Oh, no, that's a 1-year-old. This is my nephew.
Oh, okay. All right. Look, I appreciate your call.
All right. Thank you.
All right. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Somebody said I gave bad advice. I'm reading some of the comments as I'm talking. And they said my advice of let it be a surprise is bad advice. How is that bad advice? That's great advice. That's the best advice.
Of course you think so, because you think you're always right.
But explain to me, help me understand how that's bad advice. There's a person who you have a child with, and they say, I'm coming over to pick him or her up. And you say, all right, and then you tell your 6-year-old, hey, your daddy on his way. Come on, let's pack all your stuff. And then now the kid is just sitting there waiting. And then the daddy never show up. You kind of set that kid up for failure. Whereas if you, all right, you're on your way, cool. And then you get the stuff together. The kid don't know nothing. The kid ain't sitting nowhere waiting. The kid has no idea. And then next thing you know, hey, daddy, hey, I'm here to, come on, son, let's go. All right, let's go.
But you know what? A lot of people don't want to do that other parents, because doing it that way feels like doing that other parent's dirty work. Like, it feels like I am making it okay for you to be an inconsistent parent. I am, as a matter of fact, I am enabling you to be a inconsistent parent because I'm not letting my child know the reality of the situation. And I'm putting a Band-Aid on everything, trying to, preserve your image or preserve your reputation. When it comes down to it, and I get it, because it comes with some resentment as the single parent. It comes with some resentment.
Hold on. Let me get a break in here. Just because I'm late for the break. And, got to do what you got to do. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 FM, 1230 AM. The Buzz of Cincinnati is your talk station. Let's go!
From 6 to 10 a.m. It's the Russ.
That is great advice. Because it ain't about you, and it ain't about the daddy or the mama. It's about the child. Right. Brenda, you keeping the child from being hurt and disappointed.
We're talking all day long. Weekday on 101.5 FM, 1230 AM. The Buzz of Cincinnati, your talk station.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. Start saving more for retirement now. So you
And I'm telling y'all, I understand the feeling. When mom and daddy first got divorced, I remember one time, daddy said he was coming. Now later as an adult, because daddy was a pastor, and later as an adult, he explained to me that the reason he didn't show up is because there was some sort of emergency and somebody was at the hospital dying or something like that. And so he had to go to the hospital and pray for somebody. I don't know. But no call was made. And I remember sitting in that window, looking, every car coming up and down the street, thinking, ooh, that's him. And a few cars that looked like he is like, oh, he passing us up. This is what I was thinking as a little kid. He passing the house. Oh, that wasn't him. And I remember my mama trying to get me to just go outside and play. Just go outside and play. And I was like, no, he said he coming. And I could imagine that broke my mama's heart. But I know that feeling, and I sat there, and I believe I even just fell asleep in the window, watching cars pass. And I was so disappointed. And again, later on, he gave me an explanation. But that didn't help that little boy falling asleep in the window. But if I would have never knew he was coming, I'd have been outside playing.
I have to slightly disagree, for the simple fact that my mom was never consistent, but there was maybe once or twice in my life where she made a very, very brief appearance and then was never heard of again. Once when I was I had to be 4 4 or 5, and I was just out somewhere with my uncle, and she happened to be walking down the street. He caught her attention. She awkwardly said hi to me and then went on about her business. The second time I was 7 years old, and she literally, I had no idea, neither did my grandma. Her and one of my other smaller siblings, she was walking down our street that we lived on. She was walking down the street, introduced herself to me, told me to go get my grandma, and she came around for like maybe 2 days. By that second day, it seemed like she was irritated, sort of, because as a child, you can just feel it. Like, one day you find out that you actually got a mama, and then she actually out here, and she live in the same city, and you know what her face look like now, and so she's there, and then the next day, she's there, but she don't even seem happy to be there. And then on that third day, as you just explained, I sat there waiting, because I thought this was life now. I thought I had a mama now. So she came on that third day, or no, she came on that second day. Third day I was waiting because I was expecting her to be there. She had promised that she was going to be there, and she never came. My grandmother just kind of had to tell me, like, yeah, baby, I don't think she's coming. She didn't call. She didn't let nobody know nothing. We had talked the day before about her coming and taking me to do something, but she just never showed, and I didn't see her again until I was in my early 20s. So that situation, it was kind of like a 2-in-1. Like, that first day I had no idea. And I probably would have been cool. And that's why I said years later, as I was a teenager, I was like, why did she even come around if she was just going to be there for 2 days and then never come back? What was the point of that? Like, and I guess to your point, if she had never even made the attempt to do that, I don't know. It's just, it's a hard situation. Like, yeah, you would think that you want at least the opportunity to have somebody be inconsistent, but if they that type of inconsistent, I'm better off with you just not being here. Because for 2 days of my life, I thought I had a parent, and now you just gone.
Twenty-three minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name, Emanuel Livingston. My title, The King of Talk. We're having a little discussion about parenting. It's a big issue. It's a big issue. It's a big issue. I was telling a young lady who called in, talking about her 6-year-old. And she says, the 6-year-old, she's about to, she's prepared to cut the father off. The 6-year-old, he sits there, he's waiting. Father never shows up. I gave some great advice. Great advice. Don't tell the 6-year-old that the father coming. Don't share that. Just let the 6-year-old be surprised if daddy show up. And a few people are saying that's horrible. That's horrible advice. Miss Mundy, I believe she said that's
enabling.
That's enabling. Like, no, it's not about that. It's not.
That's what it was. I just say that's how people feel when they do stuff like that. Like, it feels like I'm making it easy on you to be inconsistent, to be absentee, to be like I'm working my fingers to the bone trying to be the upper echelon of parents right now. I'm making sure that my baby is fed every day, is clothed, got somewhere to sleep, all their bills is paid, all their school fees. I'm making sure they educated, and you want me to go the extra mile on your behalf as well to make sure that you never look like you're not doing your part. And some people get bit.
And for some people, that feels selfish to me. That feels selfish to me because it's not about you. It's about that little child. It's not about how you feel that you're making the other parent look. It's about that little child. But let me go to the phone. I get what you're saying, but that feels like a selfish perspective.
Yeah, it definitely comes with some resentment and some bitterness attached to it. Because again, if you feel like you are you are doing something that you've been doing it for a very long time by yourself, been making stuff work by yourself, it's gonna come with some resentment, especially if you feel like you didn't get yourself into this predicament by yourself. You gonna be resentful.
And you gotta let that go. You gotta let that go. Cause like I told y'all a lot of times, there was apparently some super duper great actors out there and actresses. But a lot of times you knew. You got into that situation with somebody who, was a no account on some level. So you knew. So now it's not about you. It's not about him or her. Now it's about the child. Let me get Aaron in here. Aaron, you're on the buzz. Aaron? Right. Aaron. Okay, Aaron's listening on the phone, and there's a delay. So let me get back to Aaron. Aaron.
Emanuel.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic, and you?
To you too, Miss Monday. Hello to you too.
Hello.
Actually, I understand what she's saying, but I agree with you. That was great advice, and it's not enabling any of those parents. No, that's a great setup, not confusing the kid and getting him disappointed. If you know his track record is showing that he's not showing up, don't get his bag ready. And I am a father. I'm 51 years old, so I got 2 kids, a daughter and a son. They grown, but yeah, stop packing the bag. Stop packing the bag. And then at the same time, I think I heard her say he had kids somewhere else. So if you know as a woman, and not only her, that these men that y'all getting entangled with, and they already have kids, and you see what they doing and not doing for those kids, what makes you think it's going to be different in your situation?
Everybody think it's going to be different. I don't know why everybody think it's going to be different, but everybody, for whatever reason, seems to think
honestly
it's going to be different.
For a lot of women that I know that find themselves in that situation, it's a lot of times it's because, and this is going to sound crazy and even kind of contradictory, but it's because a lot of women know that there are other women out there who make it hard for men to parent. Like, it's a catch-22. Like, if I'm in, like, a lot of women, when they get involved with a dude who got a co-parenting situation, and that man sit down and try to explain, man, she be making it this type of difficult or this type of difficult, and it sounds reasonable enough to another woman, because like it's kind of like, this is the best way I can explain it. It's kind of like relational trauma. If you always at it with your baby daddy, and he don't never do nothing, he don't never show up, and this man come up to you talking about, I'll do this for you and I'll do that for you, and he do this and that for you and your kids here and there. But when you try to ask him about his kids, he always giving you, well, yeah, she make it so hard for me. You see what I do for you, I do it for my kid if she would let me, or I would, like, when it come to co-parenting, not everybody got issues with their baby mama and their baby daddy. So you hoping that in this new situation, the reason why he ain't taking care of his other kid is because she making it hard on him. And so I'm not gonna make it hard on him. So it should work, right? This should make sense, right? I'm not a hard baby mama. I'm dealing with the drama. I'm dealing with the hard baby daddy. I'm the good baby mama. So if we get together, he gonna take care of his kid with me.
I agree. I agree with you. It's a lot of good points you just mentioned. Because a lot of these women, and plus I know a lot of people who going through stuff with their baby mama, and also always put it in their eyes also, like, what you doing to try to change that? Because she ain't just flipping out just for no reason. Some do get jealous because they move on and got another woman. But again, everybody's got to be grown and get a different mindset. But this on the manual point of view, you didn't say nothing wrong. That was great advice, like you said. I'm an everyday listener. That was great advice, Emmanuel. It was.
All right, Aaron.
All right. You have a beautiful day.
You do the same. And hold on, let me say this. Ladies, if he not taking care of his other children, and he's saying, she making it difficult. I would be if it wasn't for the way how hard is he fighting? That's the question you got to ask yourself. How hard is he fighting? Because I'm not saying it's never true. But And I can only, speak from my experience. I had children. And wasn't nobody gonna keep me from my children. I was gonna fight the whole time. So if you was with me and you were like, hold on, he ain't seen his kid in a while. Like, why you? But you know what else I'm doing to try to see my kid, to try to be there for my kid. I ain't just at home chilling like, she difficult. So F them kids. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a lot of different factors too. Like, not to put this type of stigma on, black single mothers, but there is a stigma where a lot of times they get looked at in our communities as, the bottom of the barrel. And so a lot of times these women do end up choosing men who make them feel like more than bottom of the barrel, make them feel like more than, just a last resort type of situation. And so if that man come into my life, he treat me some decent kind of way, and he's, he got enough game to talk me up my panties, now I find myself in a situation. Now I'm finding it easier to believe when he tell me that if he go see about his child, his crazy baby mama gonna up and take that child to another state where I can't see my kid period no more. Like, that's the kind of stuff that men tell me about certain situations with their baby mamas. Like, oh, if I go try to see about my kid, she gonna try to take my kid out of state, and I ain't gonna be able to see my kid ever. Like, I know somebody who's like literally real life in that situation right now. If they ever try to go, or like anytime they go and try to contact her family, try to ask questions about their kid, she threatens to take that child and move somewhere and never contact him again. So like, it's a lot of wild situations out here, the way people are maneuvering.
Look. Stop buying into that stuff. Stop buying into that stuff. If somebody is telling you, if you come and try to see your kid, I'm gonna take him and move him to another state. If you can't see them and they in the same, like that's not even like a good threat to me. And if he, and any man, any father listening to me right now will tell you, and if he's a real father, he will tell you, I don't care what you say, you are not keeping me from my children. I don't care what you threaten, you are not going to get me to stop trying to see my children. It's not going to happen. And if your man, your male suitor, is not saying, if he's got children, there is nothing that she can do that's going to make me stop trying to see my children, don't have no kids with him. Don't have no kids with him. Because he probably ain't going to do the same thing with your kids. Let me get a break in here. Hold on, Tina. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
101.5 The Buzz, connecting you to information and events happening around the city and around the tri-state. Here's what's buzzing this week.
It's the 5th annual Legend Showcase and Benefit Sneaker Gala, Friday, November 19th, featuring Dennis Edwards and the Temptations Review, performing live at the 20th Century.
Well, baby, I would go see my child. I want to see my child, but she be acting crazy, and she say if I go over there, then she taking my child, so I can't go see my child. What?
Let me put it like this. If I ran up on a woman and I'm like, you got kids? And she was like, yeah, I got kids. They live with their daddy and he won't let me see them. I got a few questions. Why won't he let you see your kids? Because in my head, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? That's a red flag. He won't let you see your kids. What are you doing to the kids? And, well, I'm not doing. He's just that kind of person. All right, well, what are you doing to solve that situation? What are you doing to solve that situation? I can't do nothing. I'm all out of options. Then I'm all out of love for you. You know what I'm saying?
What about, a man find himself in that situation and he threatens to take a girl to court, but he ain't got no money to do all that. So what do you do in that situation as a man? Do you just kidnap your kid? What in there is missing?
There are a lot of options.
But you, Emanuel, yourself have said, as a man trying to get some justice in cause like, I don't even want to know what it's called, but family court. It is nearly impossible. So as a man who realizes that, what are your options?
You got a lot of options. There are programs out here that'll help. There's a lot of options. The one option that you don't have is to stop trying. That's the one option that you don't have. And that's what I'm saying. If you with a dude and he's saying all this stuff and you don't see any effort, he probably lying. He the problem.
I'm recalling back to the plethora of times we've had similar conversations and men have called in the droves to explain why they are not in their kid's life or why they're not or why it's so difficult for them to be in their kid's life when they're trying so hard. They done went through the legal process. They done did this. They done did that. And they're getting nowhere. Those guys exist. And I'm guessing these women who engage in certain relationships with these men, they hope, at least to God, that the man they're dealing with is one of those type of men.
But they're trying. That's what I'm saying. They're trying. They're trying.
But you also got to realize, too, it's a lot of women who, like I said, they are single mothers and they're used to a man not trying at all. Like, they're used to that man being done with them and the whole entire situation as soon as she say the words, I'm pregnant. So you got this man who is coming into your life, is spitting you all this game, telling you, man, yeah, shorty just make it hard for me to see my kid. That's why I don't be around him all the time. I only get him such and such and such and such. Or I only do such and such and such and such because shorty make it so hard. But, you know, and like I said, he do little things here and there to show you that he has the ability to possibly provide for you and your kids. So you just make an assumption based off of that. Well, if he probably gonna do better for him, like she said. Isn't it what she said? Ain't that what Anita said?
That's
you make an assumption.
That feels like foolishness.
Hopefully, he is one of those guys. Cause like I'm like I said, I come from a situation where a man ain't doing nothing. My baby daddy ain't doing nothing for me. But this man is coming around me, paying a couple bills here and there, you know, doing certain things for my kids here and there.
Standard.
That's better than a lot of women look at that and be like, yeah, this is better than nothing. I could be getting nothing right now.
Raise those standards.
I don't disagree.
Raise those standards.
I don't disagree. I'm just letting you know what it is.
Community Associations Institute can help. Visit responsiblecommunities.com to learn more.
News and views you won't hear anywhere else. 101.5 FM, the buzz of Cincinnati.
I gotta stop playing this.
To the top of the hour. 101.5 the buzz of Cincinnati, your talk station. My name is Emanuel Livingston. The name of the show is The Afternoon Experience. Got a few topics on the table. We're talking about John Gruden being resigning. I believe, every single part of me believes he resigned because of those quote-unquote homophobic emails. There was other stuff in there, but that stuff wouldn't have been enough to saying that black man lips look like some big tires or something like that. I don't remember the exact quote, but y'all know what I'm talking about. That wasn't enough. All he had to do was say some gay stuff, and he's out of there. I got a problem with that. We talked a little bit about these parents and these children, and there was a question about whether an absentee parent is better than an inconsistent parent.
Oh yeah, never mind. I thought you was finna. Never mind.
See, I keep telling you, I'm always right.
You flipped it, so
I'm
I was
always
like, wait,
right.
no, that's not what I said. But okay.
So we talked about that, and somehow we're back on, because it does kind of keep coming back to women and these standards.
We have been talking a lot about like parenting, and particularly absentee parenting, a lot lately.
Because we're seeing these young people out in the street participate in this violence and just get in trouble just as a whole. And I think we're beginning to realize some of it has to do with parenting. A lot of it has to do with parenting. But we can't seem to come to the conclusion that we should do this parenting thing right. We don't agree on what right is. But let me go back to the phone. Tina, you're on the bus.
Hi there. How's everyone doing?
Doing fantastic. And you?
I'm doing good. Thank you. So I want to give my opinion on maybe two things.
All right.
The young lady had called in and she said that she didn't want to, or she told her child her daddy wasn't coming. Well, I don't agree with that. I mentioned before my child's father lived 4 hours away. He would have to travel and or I traveled to his state to drop off my daughter, or he would come and see his daughter. Because of the distance between us and the time change, I didn't always tell her that her dad was coming, only because he could have had an accident or a flat tire or an emergency where he would not be able to come the time that I thought he was going to be here. So I always made it as a surprise. Yeah. Not only that it made her happy, made him happy, made me happy, but I always had her stuff packed.
Yeah.
But she didn't know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as a single parent, I would never tell my child, don't expect him to come or let it go. Because when that child gets at a certain age, which we don't know the age that's going to be because every child thinks different, that child's going to like, well, where's my daddy or where's my mom? How come they not here? You can't dictate on how they're going to feel about the other parent. You can't badmouth the other parent. You know you may not like them. You don't like how they do things. They don't come and see the child enough. As the parent that's in the child's life or taking care of that child 24/7, don't belittle the other parent that's not present. I know it sucks or you want to, but that's not your job to do. Let the child find out and let the child make its own determination of the other parent.
And I also agree, you don't close the door. You don't say to the other parent, don't call, don't even try to be a part of this child's life. You allow them, you always, in my opinion, you always got to leave that door open.
Right, because you never know one day, if you happen to close that door on the other parent, you may need the other parents for a blood transfusion, a kidney, or something that child needs to survive, but you close the door on the other parent. And you need the other parent for your child to live. And or if something happens to the parent that's taking care of the child 24/7, you may get sick yourself, God forbid, but you may get sick yourself and you need the other parent's help. And it should be never an excuse if the custodial parent is taking care of that child, moves to another state, the non-custodial parent should always, under no circumstances, go see the other child, no matter what state they're in. If the non-absent or the non-custodial parent can pay $1,000 for a pair of shoes or $2,000 for some glasses, well, you could have took that $1,000, that $2,000, buy a plane ticket or a train ticket or something. Go see your child. Never let anything stop you. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, see, now I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
Why?
Because you lost me at always. You lost me at always.
Tell me why.
I could see there being circumstances where it's not necessarily fair to say to the non-custodial parent, which, most times dealing with our family courts is a man. If you pick up and leave and you move to California and you move to Tennessee, to say to me, you the one who always got to spend your money to come to see your child, and if you don't, then something's wrong with you, but there's no effort going other. Now, I'm saying, sure, it's cool to do it. It's cool to do it. I probably would. But to say it's always the responsibility of the non-custodial parent to make that trip, I can't get with always.
Well, So I guess let me clarify that. So the non-custodial parent doesn't always have to do that, right? Doesn't always have to. But if you feel like you not seeing your child enough, you can meet halfway. Sometimes me and my child's father met halfway, because sometimes the custodian parent has opportunities somewhere, right? So she's doing what's best for her and her child. The father could take, opportunities like half here, half there of the year to take care of the child, or just communicate. A parent or parents communicate on how to raise the child. It's not always going to work out the best way that you want it to. That's what being a parent is. It's like being adulthood. Nobody tells you what it's going to be and how it's going to be. Everybody has to wiggle this way or that way to make it work. It's the same thing with parenting. Nobody teaches you how to be the parent the perfect way, but you have to do right the best way that you can. But neglect one way or another is not good, or bad mouthing the other parent is not good at all.
I agree with that.
And that's why I think some children have issues with insecurity or talking to people or open up because they don't know how to open up to the parent or the other parent because they just don't know how. And communication is key. And I just think parents, we just got to do better to help our kids do better.
All right. Now, see, but from my perspective, this would have been my take on it. I got a great opportunity for a better life, more money and more room for growth and so on and so forth. So I want to move to Michigan, or I want to move to Tennessee. I want to move to Florida. I want to move to Texas. I want to move to Atlanta. Everybody want to move to Atlanta. I'd have been okay, cool. Then let's do this custody thing where, she stay with me and you go ahead and you move to Atlanta. And then that way, you know where she at, she with me, she's safe. I ain't got to uproot her, and you go and you explore your opportunity. Good luck. And when you want to see her, we can work that out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And that's what's called communication.
Nobody wants to just give custody, though, to that non-custodial parent. Nobody wants to do that.
Well, that's because they're bitter, probably, or they're stuck in their ways, or they're trying to be the like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to run this. I had the baby. Sometimes it shouldn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion, but everybody don't think like me. I don't think like them. I don't want to think like them.
All right.
That's what it comes to, just talking. Like, you think you just have to talk about what's best. And sometimes if the child's old enough or they're a young teenager, ask the child, like, what do you think? Do you think you can stay with your father, or I'm about to go here for a job opportunity? Do you want to come up with me or stay with your dad? Because kids at that age, they know where they want to go and what they want to do, and which parents they like the most and less at the end of the day.
Okay. I don't know that should necessarily be the deciding factor, but I understand what you're saying.
Right.
All right, Tina, I appreciate your call.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
All right, that's Tina. Yeah, you can't always let the kids, even teenagers, make those decisions. Some decisions you got to make for teenagers. I want to be, that seemed more exciting. That's this and that's that. No. We going to decide what's best for you. And then you just have to live with whatever decision we make. Ask the kid, I like this parent better. That's a horrible position to put a kid in. Choose. Who says that to a kid? All right, I'm on this side of the room, she on that side of the room. You walk to whichever parent you like best. What? Oh, that's horrible. I know that's not exactly what she said, but that's kind of what she said. It's horrible.
That's how the courts handle it.
That
if
is not.
If the child is of a certain age, they do ask the child who they would prefer to live with.
They do ask the child, but that child is not the final say.
But it goes into the consideration. It goes into the decision making.
But they also ask, or at least my understanding is, they ask who, they ask why, and they have a whole conversation about it. It ain't just who you like the best, who you want to go live with. Tell me. All right, that's who you're gonna go live with. All right, case over. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, it's not that cut and dry, but I'm just saying the concept that asking your child who they would prefer to live with is not one that has no merit if they do it in a court of law.
you can ask. I still think that's horrible. I think it's horrible if two parents say to a child, who you want to go live with. That is horrible. That is horrible. I remember when Mom and Daddy was getting a divorce, and I'm going to guess it's the magistrate. I remember the magistrate asking me that question. And I felt like, wow, I got to choose which parent. And then, honestly, that in my mind, I got to choose which parent I like best. What? I didn't want to choose which parent I like best. I didn't want to make that decision.
For some kids, it's very clear though, especially if they come from a home that was abusive, either physically or emotionally, or they came from a situation where, you know, one of the parents was a clear issue in the relationship or in the household. That decision for a child is very clear. Yeah, I don't want to go over here with the drunkard who hit me.
And that's why I said they may ask that. I didn't like the question, period. But they will ask why. And, you know, well, he drinks a lot. He always drunk. Okay, that'll carry some weight. But I like him better. You know, let me get a break here. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
WDBZ, Cincinnati, and Urban One Station. Minority controlled and operated, and serving the African American community for over 40 years. We are 101.5 The Buzz, your talk station. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And I don't remember how old I was. I was really young. But I did not like it even a little bit when they asked me what parent did I want to live with. I didn't like that even a little bit. It made me, I can't even try to put myself back into that headspace. It made me feel bad. Like if I say mama, that means daddy bad. If I say daddy, that means mama bad. Which it wouldn't have meant either. And to be completely honest, I don't remember what I said. I'm fairly certain, though, I didn't say either. I'm fairly certain I didn't choose. I felt like that was too heavy of a thing for me as a little kid. And I wished that they would have never asked me that question. But I don't remember what I said. I'm pretty sure I didn't choose, but I might have chosen. We had video games at the house. Daddy didn't have no video games at the house, so I might have said mama. It would have been just for the video games, because I didn't have no beef with mama. I didn't have no beef with daddy.
When someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit
BJ say my son had an urgent care. Went to urgent care because of COVID. They would only let him have one parent in the room. I was jumping around. And he had to choose. And he decided to be seen by himself because he didn't want to choose. Eight minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. Ms. Mundy, quick, who you got in the finals?
What finals?
What? What do you mean, what finals?
I'm not a sports person.
Okay, hey, all of y'all, who you got in the finals? Who you got? Just real quick, if you live streaming, just type it in. Who you got in the finals? Call 749-1230. Just real quick, just tell Raven who you got in the finals. Just say the name. Just say the name. Who you got? Who you got? Everybody thinking, what finals? The WNBA finals. Didn't you know that was happening right now?
I didn't know any finals were happening.
Most people don't. Yeah, apparently, the Chicago Sky and the Phoenix Mercury, the WNBA finals started on Sunday afternoon. On Sunday afternoon. Somebody said Lakers and Nets. Wrong finals. Wrong finals. The WNBA finals. Come on. How could y'all not know that this was going on? It's the most amazing thing in sports. It's the finals. Y'all know I'm ever so slightly mocking the WNBA. Ever so slightly mocking the WNBA. I'm not knocking them. I'm just mocking them a little bit. Because it do bother me a little bit that they be pretending like the WNBA is on the same level as the NBA when it's clearly not. I support those, people working and making money. I support that. Cool. And I'm glad that they get an opportunity to go out there and play the game that they love to play and that they can make a living doing it. I need people to stop acting like it's the same. Stop acting like it's the same. Most of y'all had no idea. I didn't either when I saw the story. I saw a headline. The headline says, a mic'd up Candace Parker gloated to a league legend sitting courtside after huge play in the WNBA finals. And I thought, WNBA finals? Didn't that already happen in a bubble somewhere? That was what I thought. But no, they playing on right now. So, again, I'm not against them. Just stop acting like it's the same. Stop acting like it's the same. And good luck to both teams.
Why take that chance to just dish out a low blow? Like, why? Like, why they couldn't just have their finals and be happy about them having their finals?
They are. They are having their finals, and they're happy about having their finals.
You just couldn't let them be happy about them having their finals. You just had to mock them.
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm tired of hearing this. The WNBA is the same as the NBA and all of that stuff. I'm tired of hearing it.
Why? Why does that offend you so?
Because it's not so. It's not so. I get offended when people tell me stuff that's just factually inaccurate and try to pass it off as accurate.
But that sounds like something that is a
just let it go.
emotional feeling, not a factual
Just
thing.
let it go, because you didn't even know.
I didn't know anything about any finals in any league today. That's why I asked you what finals.
That's what I'm saying. Women don't even know about the women.
Okay, and not all men know about every sports final, because believe it or not all men like sports.
Most men know, like when the Super Bowl is happening.
That is an assumption that you're making.
I don't even follow the NFL, but I know the Super Bowl is happening when it's happening.
But at one point in your life you did, so you would know that. Or at least have some sort of radar about that, and you are around people who still watch the NFL, so of course you know that.
Nobody watching this stuff.
Honestly, I spend time with certain people who still watch the NFL, so I've caught a couple of games lately that I've not been intentionally trying to catch.
You caught a couple WNBA games?
No, a couple of NFL games.
But you ain't caught no WNBA games, right?
Not really, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what point that proved to you.
You ain't just gonna run up on somebody who just happened to be watching the WNBA. It's not gonna happen.
You don't happen to run up on somebody who, watches tennis either like that. Or
yeah, you do.
I don't. Not in my day-to-day life. Mm-hmm. But it's also a major sport, ain't it? I don't run up on people who watch golf, but that's a major sport, ain't it?
That's debatable.
Okay.
That's debatable.
Okay.
Whether or not golf is actually a sport is debatable.
Matter of fact, Emanuel, everything you're saying right now is invalid because you think that baseball isn't a sport. You think that, or not, I don't know if you don't think it's something like that. You don't think it's a sport, or you don't think it's interesting enough to be considered a major league sport.
No, it's not a sport.
This entire country is still obsessed with baseball.
It's a game. I mean, it's a game. It's a competition. It's not a sport. It's a competition, though.
And just as you
said,
a lot of
that, people
all
are
the old men who don't like you doubly don't like you.
Jackie Robinson, nigga.
Say what I mean.
Boy. It is a game.
This is why people don't like you.
Let's see. Alabama. Now, I keep telling y'all, I don't like Alabama. I don't like Alabama football. I don't like Auburn. I don't like Alabama. This is kind of indicative as to why. A man was fatally shot after an argument over the University of Alabama and the Texas A&M University game. Yeah. Keelan Ahmad Pickens, 27. They was over somebody's house. They was watching the game. Alabama lost to Texas A&M. And then they start arguing about which team is actually better. And you would think that would kind of be a short argument. Like, the team that just beat your team is the better team. You would think that. But no, they got to arguing. Well, the person whose house they were over told them both, get out. Y'all got to go. Because, y'all taking it to another level. Like, we watched the game. I know you like Alabama. I know your feelings hurt, whatever. But come on. No, we're not doing all of this. So they put them out. And then the police were called. And at around 10:45 p.m., outside of the home, they found Keelan Ahmad Pickens shot. Pickens died shortly after at 3:30 a.m. Now they say, pretty much they know who it was. They have the suspect, and they will be making an arrest. They will be making an arrest. But really? Y'all shooting each other over which football team? And y'all wonder, we were having a conversation on the University of Cincinnati yesterday after the show. And y'all wonder why I don't say, we gonna win. And we gonna, that just puts too much, there's too much of me in there. Then I become emotionally and personally invested. We won 52-3. We gonna be national championships. We this and we that. So then if we lose, I take that personally, possibly. No, I don't do all of that. But I'm telling you, in Alabama, they go bonkers. They go straight bonkers. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Oh, I got a few more things that I want to talk about. Let me get this break in here. Some sports related, some COVID related, and some just weird stuff. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
Here's what you need to know with Sybil Wilkes.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. More than 100 Haitian migrants were rescued from an abandoned shipping container found in Guatemala Saturday. This is a sign that individuals from that country continue their journey to reach the U.S. even after thousands of migrants living under a bridge were deported last month. Secretary of State Antony Blinken Friday warned Haitian migrants against pursuing the dangerous trip to the U.S., adding that the journey will not succeed. The Republican Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina has said he will not resign, nor will he back down over remarks in which he called transgenderism and homosexuality filth. Mark Robinson, the first African American to hold that post, made the remarks in question at Asbury Baptist Church in Seagrove, North Carolina in June. Robinson faced immediate bipartisan condemnation extending all the way to the White House, with many representatives calling for Robinson to quit. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
For more information, stay connected with us through all social media and at thebuzzcincy.com.
In the industry, when you're always trying to make sure that the brand is forefront and that you're projecting the right image, I tended to put my gender and sexuality on the back burner. Uncensored. I don't have to do that anymore. I won't put that weave in and extra makeup on to make sure somebody was attracted to me in whatever way Hollywood wanted a female to look.
Uncensored. Raven Simone, Sunday night at 10 on TV1.
It's been so inspiring to see so many lives changed with the Cable Academy. Rachel, a former student, says they go above and beyond to ensure success. Harold says Cable Academy changed my life in 3 months. Are you ready to create your own story? Cable Academy is a locally based program that in as little as 12 weeks can get you prepared for a career in web development, tech support, or cybersecurity. Best of all, Cable Academy has a program where students don't pay anything unless they get a job paying over $40,000 per year. You heard me. No job, no pay. To learn more, go to cableacademy.com. That's cable with a K. Click apply, and someone will reach out to provide you more information. That's cableacademy.com.
Experience the world premiere of the West End at Cincinnati Playhouse in the Park. It's 1941, and Cincinnati is growing as Black Americans migrate from the Deep South.
Somebody said you can't hit a fastball. I can't do a whole lot of stuff. That don't make it a sport. Everything that you can't do, make it a sport? No. There's certain notes you can't hit either. Do that mean singing is a sport?
This is County Commissioner Alicia Reese here. We've got an important election, and I'm asking you to vote for my friend, Mika Owens. Mika has supported me over the years, helping to organize women and helping our community during this very tough pandemic. In these tough times, we need Mika's leadership at City Hall. That's why I'm asking you to join me in voting for Mika Owens for City Council. Meet me at the polls, and let's elect Mika Owens.
Paid for by friends of Mika Owens. So I'm apartment hunting and having this debate with a landlord.
Like I said, no pets. Just can't rent you the unit.
Yeah, he's a dog, but sir, he's not a pet.
He's four-legged, hairy, he's on a leash, that's a pet.
No, Henry is an assistance animal. Look, I'm legally blind. Couldn't you make a reasonable accommodation for my guide dog?
Young lady, you can call your canine friend anything you want. Those are the rules.
Rules? Rules that allow for housing discrimination? So I made a call to HUD to confirm that indeed landlords must make reasonable accommodations for assistance.
Purple Pro says, so black men aren't walking out on their mixed kids, just the ones they had with black women? I don't know where that came from. Wallace said, Kelsey Mitchell from Cincinnati Live, E-Man. Okay.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who play sports earn more money when they grow up?
Of course, I knew that.
Hey, did you guys know that kids who read books have a bigger vocabulary?
Trish said it came from left field. I don't know where it came from. It's just a comment that was just posted. So black men aren't walking out on their mixed kids, just the ones they had with black women. There's some things that I could say about that, but I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want to offend nobody. That's not my desire.
Whether you're trying to figure out how to pay off a student loan or how you're going to pay for retirement, the tough economy is affecting all of us. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling wants you to know help is available for whatever kind of debt problem you're facing. The NFCC is a nonprofit organization with certified counselors who can show you how to make educated decisions. You're not alone. Call the NFCC at 800-388-2227 or visit debtadvice.org. This has been a public service from the NFCC.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace. Learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, y'all, trust. From the Rush Cloud Morning Show. Yeah, Cincinnati, wake up with us every morning from 6 to 10 on 101.5 The Buzz.
24 minutes after, 101.5, The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your call station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Believe it or not, this story doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I heard Lincoln mention it earlier today. DC Comics, the home of Batman, Wonder Woman, and other beloved superheroes, announced on Monday that one of its heroes is taking a bold new direction, coming out as bisexual. And Superman apparently is going to come out as bisexual. And believe it or not, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Like, it's not Clark Kent. It's Clark Kent's son, Joe. Yeah, Clark and Lois, I guess, got together and, had a baby. And Joe, they named the baby. And, yeah, Joe's a bisexual. I think they can do things with this as a storyline. I don't have a problem with it. They're not changing a beloved character. They're not, sure, they're rolling with it, but I could see that happening just think about it. In the world today, if, superheroes existed, you tell me one of them wouldn't be bisexual? So I'm all right with Joe, with Joe Kent being bisexual. Superman being bi. I'm all right with that. I don't know why one has to make that announcement. I don't. But if you choose to, okay, go with it. Believe it or not, I'm not offended by that, even a little bit.
Would you be offended if it was Clark Kent?
Yes. Yeah, that would be a problem. If Clark Kent...
I don't understand the separation.
What do you mean? Clark Kent is an established character. Like, if Clark and Lois is in love and all that kind of stuff, and come on.
But they do all kind of alternate universes and stuff like that in comics all the time, where they change the character's gender, they change the character's race, and now sexuality is just one of those new things that you can change about a character.
But I think they've just shown they don't have to do that. They don't have to. They can say this person is taking up the mantle of Superman. He has the powers of Superman. He is the new Superman. And so it's okay if he's bisexual. It don't mess with really anybody's anything.
He's also just a fictional character, so he really has no actual sexuality.
That's not true.
It's really,
that's not true.
I get the fact that, Clark Kent, his storyline has always included a Lois Lane. So it makes sense for him to remain, a straight white male. Like, honest, that's why Superman tends not to be my favorite when it comes to comic books, because he's a typical straight white male. So he don't speak to me anyway. But, I don't really care. Like, and it sounds insensitive, but I really don't care what anybody's sexuality is, as long as you are serving the purpose of the character that you are portraying. I don't care what your sexuality is. I don't care.
And I want to make jokes. I so many jokes I want to make, but I'm not, because I'm mature.
We both know that's a lie.
I am mature.
You are sophomoric as all get out.
So I would not make any jokes about Joe Kent. One of the things that I think is my duty being here, because I'm setting this up before I even tell y'all the story. One of the things that I think is my duty being here is to point out the differences in the way people treat different groups of people. The way people treat different groups of people. And the reason that I'm pointing it out is so that hopefully we'll stop treating our people bad because they're our people, okay? Hopefully we'll stop treating our people bad because they're our people. All of this makes no sense, hopefully, until I read the story. Chiefs superfan X Factor gets knocked out cold during loss to Bills, right? There's a Kansas City Chief fan known as X Factor. And during the game on Sunday at the stadium, he made news. He went viral because a Kansas City fan was involved in an altercation with him and knocked him out cold. There's a video of it, the whole nine, right? They say it's unclear what started the scuffle and whether or not stadium security or police were even called. Emanuel, what's that got to do with anything? And imagine if that was a small group of black kids getting into a fight in the stands of an NFL game. What would the headlines be? What would the headlines be?
Unruly black youth destroy stadium.
I point this stuff out so that we can look at it and we can say, hold on, grown white men fighting at a stadium, supposed to be an event, you know, where you can take your family, you can take the kids, y'all can enjoy some NFL, and they got into a fight and, you know, went viral, and we don't even know if the police or security were even called. As opposed to, you know, whatever we would say about black youth if the exact same thing happened. I just want us to, because eventually it'll happen again. I know, you speaking it into existence. No, I'm just being realistic. Eventually it'll happen again. Some young black people will be out of order in a place where they should not be out of order. And instead of saying, well, people out of order, they were wrong for being out of order, but they're human, and humans sometimes get out of order. So you making excuses for black people, Emanuel? No. I'm not going crazy about these grown men fighting. They were out of order. Sometimes people get out of order. It's bad. They shouldn't. But sometimes it happens. And ain't nobody calling in here hollering, you making excuses for white people, Emanuel. But if I say it about black people, or in particular black youth, oh, now I'm horrible. I'm making excuses. Their parents didn't raise them right. They shouldn't have been doing it there. And I just want us to treat them all the same. That's why I bring this up. So that when you see it happen again, and the people are black and not white, we have this same reaction. What reaction is that? Some of y'all saying, this is bad. They're childish. They're immature. And that's that. It's not an indictment on the white race. It's not an indictment on whiteness. It's not an indictment on white parents. It's not an indictment on the white family. It's not an indictment on any of that. It's just something that happens every once in a while. All right? It's just something that happens every once in a while. Remember I told y'all at the Cleveland Browns game, it was a big brawl. It was a video. We didn't go crazy. We didn't talk about banning white people from NFL games. I just want us to keep that same energy when it's black people. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Got to take this quick break. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
This month, we are shining the spotlight on Jamal and Lisa Kelly of Vegan Meats, Treats, and Eats. Cincinnati born and bred Jamal Kelly has been cooking since the age of 7.
Believe it or not, it's little stuff like that story right there that makes me feel better. That makes me feel better. Because y'all know the next time it happens, old black men going to be on here talking about how bad black youth are. And I'm going to be saying, it was a fight. It's not that big of a deal. It was a fight. Nobody got killed. Nobody got, excessively harmed. It was a fight. People fight. Especially young people. They fight. There you go. You're making excuses. I knew you was gonna make excuses. I knew if anybody was gonna make excuses, you don't make excuses for black people. Always making excuses.
Relentless research and by training the next generation to end cancer once and for all.
So I just like to point it out so that I can go back and reference this and say, remember when them guys at the Cleveland Browns game got into a brawl? And remember when the dude knocked the dude out? Remember when the dude knocked the dude out at the Kansas City Chiefs Buffalo Bills game? Remember that? It's different. It's different. How is it different? It is. It just is. How? It just is. It just is. It's different. Okay. It's different because they black and they white.
If you're going to do the voice, you might as well use the name.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. You know
I
exactly.
don't know what y'all talking about.
You know exactly what I'm
just
talking
saying,
about.
This is just a generic person in my head.
When you use that voice, we
just
all
a
think
generic
of the same person, Emanuel, and you know that.
It is a generic person in my head.
You
guys are assigning it to somebody, and I don't even know who you're assigning it to.
Well, then you need to stop using that voice for that person.
It is a generic person in my head.
Yeah, okay. It don't sound nothing like that tired MOK impression.
That was a good impression.
No, it wasn't.
That was a good
That's
impression.
when all the old people really started coming for you, if you think about it. They couldn't stand you after that.
Thanks for asking.
Because it was so good.
I already said no. It's against my religion.
I'm just saying, y'all know what's going to happen. Y'all know what's going to happen.
Pressure gives me hives.
Yes, just a generic person. A generic. Why do y'all trying to assign my voices to people? Y'all wrong for that.
I just had my clothes surgically attached to my body. If they got out,
y'all wrong for that.
I'm already naked under my clothes. Not even if you were all three Jonas brothers.
Y'all know what's going to happen. And they want to throw the black kids all in jail. Throw them in jail. Lock them up. And do something to their parents. And do bad stuff to their parents.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know if that's
I don't know who the ticket lady is. I don't know what that means.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably. Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, well, tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
Dana, I don't know. At least you're saying that who you think it is, but I don't even know how you could get that out of it.
Stop purping, bro.
I don't understand y'all.
Stop purping.
I do not understand y'all. They need to get the parents. They need to take the parents. The parents need to spend some time in jail. That's what needs to happen. The parents need to spend some time in jail. I bet if the parents spend some time in jail, I bet they would stop doing it. Oh my God.
And then you do it again to further prove everybody's point.
What about the people up in Cleveland? What about the people up in Cleveland? What should happen to their parents? It's different. It's different. How? How is it different? It just is. Okay? You always trying to twist people's words, okay? You always trying to be... I didn't twist no words.
But we not supposed to act... We supposed to act like we ain't never seen that exchange happen at 12 o'clock.
20 minutes. To the top of the hour. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Oh, just for the record, in case you guys were wondering, because I was wondering, the CEO of Netflix, he says they will not be pulling The Closer, Dave Chappelle's latest special. He says they will not pull it. He sent out a memo to staff. I'll read the first paragraph real quick. I'll try to do it fast, even though y'all know my reading skills are subpar. He says, I wanted to follow up on The Closer, Dave Chappelle's latest special, as several of you have reached out following QBR, asking what to say to your teams. It never feels good when people are hurting, especially our colleagues. So I wanted to give you some additional context. You should also be aware that some talent may join third parties in asking us to remove the show in the coming days, which we are not going to do. And then he goes on to say some other stuff about, how successful Dave Chappelle, last show, Sticks and Stones. He says it's our most watched, stickiest, and most award-winning stand-up special to date. He did call it sticky. So, yeah. He said he's not pulling it. And they were in the, they had a meeting. The top 500 employees at the company. And apparently 3 junior staffers crashed the meeting. And they crashed the meeting to basically kind of call out Netflix over Dave Chappelle's special. One of the 3 people was an out trans person. And apparently all 3 were suspended. And now they're trying to spin it like, oh, they're suspending people because they don't like Dave Chappelle's special. Could it be they suspended you because you crashed a meeting that you had no business crashing? Like, they really trying to flip it. They doing everything that they can do to flip it. If you don't like transphobia over here at Netflix, they'll fire you or they'll suspend you. And they think, oh, that's going to look bad. Oh, we got to pull the special. Okay, pull the special. We don't want to look transphobic. They say, we didn't fire them because they don't like Dave Chappelle's special. We didn't suspend them because they didn't like Dave Chappelle's special. We suspended them because they come busting up in a meeting and ain't none of their business. And they going on Twitter trashing the company they work for. That's why we suspended them. I like that. Sometimes you got to suspend a person. On the coronavirus tip, Kyrie Irving of the Brooklyn Nets. I was about to say the New Jersey Nets. Of the Brooklyn Nets. I had this story yesterday, but there's a new twist to the story. But the story from yesterday was he's not taking the vaccine. He has told them he's not taking the vaccine. And they're like, well, there's a law here in New York and you can't play in New York. So you won't even be able to play home games if you don't take this vaccine. And he like, all right, I'm cool with that. Well, yesterday the team was like, look, we are conceding that he won't play in any home games. But, he'll still be around. So as we go to places, as there are places that he's able to play, it'll be what it'll be. It'll be what it'll be. He's still practicing with the team. He's still, he can't really, like, on trips. He can't hang out with the team and everything, but we going to make it work. We going to make it work. Today, right before I went on the air, the Nets announced Kyrie Irving is banned from team until he's vaccinated. Yeah. In the wake of his refusal to get vaccinated, the 29-year-old will not be a part of the team until he does, the Nets announced in a surprise statement Tuesday morning. Exactly 1 week before the Nets kick off their regular season against the Bucks, the team announced he won't be able to practice with the team or play with the team even during away games where he's allowed to play. They said, given the evolving nature of the situation and after thorough deliberation, we've decided Kyrie Irving will not play or practice with the team until he's eligible to be a full participant. Kyrie's made a personal choice, and we respect his individual right to choose. Currently, the choice restricts his ability to be a full-time member of the team, and we will not permit any member of our team to participate with part-time availability. It's imperative that we continue to build chemistry as a team and remain true to our long-established values of togetherness and sacrifice. Our championship goals for the season have not changed, and to achieve these goals, each member of our organization must pull in the same direction. We're excited for the start of the season and look forward to a successful campaign that will make the borough of Brooklyn proud. And Kyrie Irving sitting there like, all right, I respect that. I respect a person who stands by what they believe. Now, if he changed his mind, I would respect that too. I would respect that too. But the fact that he's like, look, for some people, everything ain't about money. For some people, everything ain't about how everybody gonna think about me. For some people, it's about, this is what I believe in. Like, I truly believe in this. And I gotta stand up for what I believe in. You might not agree with me. You might think what I'm doing is foolish. But that's why you're not doing it. I'm doing it. And I gotta do what I believe to be the best thing for me and for the people around me. I gotta do that. So yeah, I respect that. I respect that. All right, let me get this last break in. It's the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'll be right back.
This year, Halloween is coming early. 101.5 The Buzz and the law offices of Blake Maisland want to see you pull up to pop your trunk. Sunday, October 24th from noon until 2 p.m. down at the Sawyer Point parking lot.
Let me tell y'all, I respect his decision. And he knows what the consequences are. And he all right with those consequences. So good. Alicia said, did you talk about John Gruden? I did talk about John Gruden.
So pop your trunk for treats. Sunday, October 24th from noon to 2 p.m. at Sawyer Point. Brought to you by the law offices of Blake Maisland and 101.5 The Buzz. For more details, go to thebuzzcity.com.
Cheers to you, girl. I know you're excited about
Glenn says Kyrie made a choice and now doesn't have a job in the NBA. That was his choice. He does still have a job in the NBA. And he says, good luck. All right.
They are identical. How did that happen?
But he does still have a job.
Went to jail. Yours too, I guess. Wow.
Don't make her settle for one.
Yes, Alicia, I said that John Gruden was cool when he was talking about that black man lips. But when he started talking about homosexuality, it was time for him to go. It was time for him to go. He can do what he want to do. But he can't talk about homosexuals.
So ladies, don't settle for the ordinary. For a ring that will be yours and yours alone. Make sure he goes to Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
I don't think it's a hard decision for him. It might have been a hard decision for you, Glenn, but it doesn't seem it don't seem to him like it's a hard decision. He's standing up for what he believes. You might not be able or willing to do that, which, a lot of us can't. But that man, financially, I doubt that he still need to play basketball to survive. So from his perspective, this is what I believe and this is what I'm going to stand for. I didn't see him crying. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So it don't seem like a hard decision for him. Believe it or not, there are people who believe what they say they believe, and they're willing to deal with the consequences for what they believe. Just because everybody ain't, Don't mean some people ain't.
More than 110,000 men, women, and children are waiting for the call to receive a life-saving organ transplant. Register today to become an organ.
Brent said Lincoln could lose $350,000 of broadcast and not even miss it.
I'm former Mayor Dwight Tillery asking you to vote for my friend, Michelle Dillingham, who is a Democrat running for Cincinnati City Council. The black population in our city has declined, pushing black homeowners out, while speculators purchase their houses for pennies on the dollar. Black people are being foreclosed on because of rigged housing and economic...
We are really living in a time where people are being attacked for not being swayed by public opinion. And I'm like, it for somebody who doesn't often agree with public opinion myself, it kind of makes me, it worries me a bit. Because if public opinion is how we're making all of our decisions, it really means that nobody has any control over anything anymore. It's just whatever the public say it is. And I don't know about you, but I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years, public opinion ain't always up to par. If nothing else, public opinion gave us 4 years of hell on earth. That's what public opinion did for us. I'm quite confused why we're all just okay with public opinion being the deciding factor in our health choices. It bothers me.
It don't bother some of these people.
And as I said, the policies that are being put in place don't even make no fucking sense. They make none. None at all. What? Really think about this. What service does it do anybody in this office if, let's just say for the sake of argument, you're the only person that's walking around this studio who is non-vaccinated, just for the sake of this argument. You're the only person in this office getting tested once a week. Because everybody else is vaccinated. But we all still got the same probability of getting this damn virus. What sense does that make?
I don't know. This is not sweet tea. This is protein water. It's not the same as water, but it's not sweet tea. Eight minutes to the top of the hour. 101.5 The Buzz of Cincinnati. We're your talk station. It's the afternoon experience. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Now, if you don't know, I live stream Monday through Friday. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And someone on Facebook, Glenn, says 98% of, he meant NBA players, are vaccinated. Kyrie made his decision. What's the problem? Nobody said it was a problem. I feel like you're trying to make it a problem. It's not a problem. As a matter of fact, all I was saying was I respect him for, standing his ground. I respect him for standing his ground. Now, why do you have a problem with that? 749-1230. That's the number to get on board. Here locally. Mason tables abortion ban legislation after ordinance fails in council. Yes, Mason. Not Ohio. Mason. Where they made the decision. Somebody in Mason said, hey, let's make abortion illegal in Mason. What? Let's make abortion illegal in Mason? That don't even sound right. But let's, forget the United States. Forget this state. Forget that. Let's make it illegal in Mason. So they took it to council. After 4 hours, a motion to vote on the proposed abortion ban failed, and a subsequent motion to put the ordinance on a ballot as a referendum and let the voters decide also failed. So council will now decide if the legislation will come back up on the agenda 2 weeks from now. Yeah. They want to make abortion illegal in Mason. Look, y'all, I know abortion is a big issue. It's a big issue going on. It's a big issue going on. I know. But some of this stuff is just trying to create a wedge. They're trying to create something, it's y'all gonna be voting in a minute. And so they're trying to create a situation just to make people get out and vote. Yeah, I want abortion illegal in Mason. Go vote. I don't even think they could, and it's possible, but I don't even think they could get it on the upcoming ballot. But they want the news out there because that's what they want you thinking about. Abortion. They are trying to motivate voters to get out and vote. Can I suggest to y'all, get out and vote. Get out and vote. We got here in Cincinnati anyway. We got the election coming up for mayor. We got the election coming up for council. We got that, issue 3, which I'm in favor of. I'm in favor of it.
Remind the people what issue 3 is again.
Issue 3 is the charter amendment, and it does a number of things. It has I don't have it in front of me, but it has a recall provision. It redoes the way, like if somebody steps down off council, it redoes the way that we put people on council. If I recall, the next highest vote getter gets the seat if they want it. It does a few other things, and it adjusts the amount of money the city council makes to I believe the median income of the city. And they say the reason for that is because, look, if it's the median income of the city and those city council members want to make more money, then they'll do whatever it takes to get the median income of the city up. I like it. And you do have somebody who's saying, well, if they lower the amount of money the city council make, only rich white guys will be able to work on city council or be able to run for city council. That's not true. That's just factually inaccurate. The same people who are running now, same people with jobs and doing all of the things that they are doing, they'll be the same people who will run if the pay is $20,000 less. They'll still run. And if you look at city council, some of the people, have good jobs. Hopefully they're not doing it for the money. But yeah, don't buy into the idea that only rich white people are going to be able to run for council and hold office and all of that kind of stuff. Don't buy it. Look at issue 3 for yourself. Look at it and see if you agree with the things in it, and then make your decision that way. Don't listen to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to me. Don't listen to somebody else. Look at it yourself and make that decision. But get out and vote. And encourage your people to get out and vote. I have to encourage my daughter. Every election, you voting? Yeah, I'm voting. I had to call her election day. Did you vote? I got busy. Get over there and vote. Did you make it? Why didn't make it? Get over there and vote. Did you vote? Yeah, I voted. All right. Yeah, encourage the people that you know to get up, get out, and vote. They're doing everything they can think of to do to energize their voter base. You got to do it too. Raven, thank you for everything that you do over there. I appreciate you. Everybody who called, everybody who listened, I appreciate you as well. Al Sharpton is up next, keeping it real with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Until next time. It's been the afternoon experience. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
WDBZ Cincinnati, an Urban One radio station, minority owned and operated, and serving the African American community for over 40 years. We are 101.5, The Buzz, your talk station.
Glenn says they don't have abortion clinics in Mason.
Do not necessarily represent those of Radio 1 Incorporated, our affiliates, our subsidiaries, or our advertisers.
That's me.
You never know who's on the Al Sharpton Show. The Queen of Soul.
I appreciate you as many millions do.
Aretha Franklin.
Keep up the good work.
The Rabs Rolodex is wide open. And now the man that brings it all to you, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Y'all have a wonderful evening.
October the 12th.
Trennis is saying Glenn blocked him.
It's Al Sharpton.
I could probably understand why he would. I'm not saying that he did, but I could understand why he would. Oh, Miss Mundy, can you turn the speaker down just a little bit, if you don't mind? I appreciate you.
The time has come.
Thank you, ma'am.
To keep it real on keeping
I said thank you, ma'am. You're lovely. It was something that I wanted to mention that I couldn't mention on the air, or that I chose not to mention on the air, but I can't think of what it is now. I got to start writing this stuff down. I don't. What does your Saturday look like? Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I think I might reach out to you later on. Something.
Don't do that to me, man. I got anxiety.
Nothing deep. I might reach out to you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm scared now.
Nothing to be afraid of. Emanuel, what's your thoughts on motorcyclists flashing Lincoln his gun after Lincoln flashed his lights at him? I had not heard that. Is that an actual thing? Did that happen? If that happened, I could see Lincoln being terrified. Why did Lincoln flash his lights at him? Oh, yeah, I didn't hear that. Why did he say why he flashed his lights? Like, was he just being mean, regular old Lincoln, mean for no reason? Or was he flashing his lights for some reason? He was in the high-speed lane going slow. Okay, I wasn't there, so I can't really say. But I feel like, having not been there, having not heard the story except for what you said just now, I feel like probably more than that happened. That feel like just a small part of a story. I'm just saying, that feels like a small part of a story. Oh, they're driving slow, and I'm in the passing lane, and I flash my lights and then hit, I got a gun, I'll kill you. That does not sound reasonable to me. I'm not one of those people that believes everything that some people say and takes their word for it, because I see multiple sides to some people, and I feel like there might have been a little bit of extra stuff going on with the flashing lights, maybe horn blowing, maybe middle finger showing, maybe screaming at people, maybe getting as close to the person as they possibly could. I feel like it might be hold on, Lincoln Ware said, I said he pulled up his shirt to show me he had a gun. I never said he had it out of his house. So he was in his house when this happened? Somebody was in their house. This story is just getting more and more confusing. Oh, holster. Oh, so you was just riding, minding your own business, being nice, not tailgating or nothing. You just flashed your lights and somebody just showed you they gun. That don't sound reasonable to me. And don't forget, I see you on a regular basis. I know some of them gestures that you like to throw. You know what I'm saying? I've heard the way you talk to people. Again, I wasn't there. I'm not saying that it ain't the case. I'm just saying I have some experience with you that makes me wonder if that's the whole story. That's all I'm saying. I have some experience with you. Remember the story when you was driving the church bus and you was giving people the finger in the church bus? You didn't give him the finger? You didn't give him the finger? Remember you was cussing the man out in the church bus? Oh, remember? You remember that? I'm just curious if you remember. You might not remember it. I just be curious. You know, I don't know this stuff. I ask questions. It don't seem like a far stretch. It don't seem like a far stretch to me that the person who would cuss people out and give people the finger in the church van. He told the story on the air. I'm not saying nothing that he hasn't already said on the air. It don't seem unreasonable to me that person would, cuss somebody out, give them the finger, blow the horn, flash the lights, all of that kind of stuff, because somebody on a motorcycle was in the lane that they wanted to be in, and they wanted to go faster. So those are all questions that people, But I don't feel no way about it. Somebody showing you a gun, showing you that they have a gun, I can see how people could perceive that as a threat. But if someone perceives a threat, from someone, just theoretically, from someone acting exceptionally aggressive to them, and they want to say, look, I got a gun, you might not want to act like a damn fool out here on the highway. I don't know that that's a threat. But other than that, I don't really have any thoughts about it. I don't know what happened, so Jason said he left a lot out. I'm not saying he left anything out. I don't know. I do not know anything about what happened. I didn't even hear the story until just a moment ago when someone asked me. Nikki says that's a threat. I don't know that that's a threat. I reject that that's a threat. If you aggressively approaching me and I even pull out a gun because you aggressively approaching me and I put it behind my leg, but you happen to see it, I'm not threatening you. I'm preparing to defend myself. So, well, he pulled out a gun. What were you doing when he pulled out the gun? Well, I was charging at him and threatening him and cussing him out and so on and so forth. We're not arresting him for threatening you. Nikki says flashing a gun is a threat. I disagree. We just have a fundamental disagreement there. And not to mention, he never took it out of his house. I know it was a mistype. He meant holster. But I like house better. The gun has a house. That's where it lives. If he never took the gun out of his house, and you were, and then I'm saying if, because I know people would be, you're splitting hairs, but if the gun never left his house, and if you're being like super aggressive, you rolling up on me, you blowing at me, you giving me the finger, and I show you like, look, I got a gun. I didn't threaten you. I just made you think about there might be consequences to these actions if you push it any further. It's a warning, not a threat, a warning. It's a warning, Beth, not a threat. Not necessarily. Like it can be a threat, but it's not necessarily a threat. Trenton says, showing equals brandishing in legal terms. That is not true. That is not true. Showing is not brandishing. It is not the same thing. I had to look this stuff up because y'all be saying stuff that ain't true. And then, I be having some definition, but not the brandishing a weapon. Definition. Brandishing. Again, showing is different. Brandishing is to shake or wave something as a weapon menacingly. To exhibit in an ostentatious or aggressive manner. So just pulling it up and showing it to you does not meet the definition of brandishing. Waving it in the air and I'll shoot you, that would be brandishing. But just showing it, not brandishing. So there you go. Nikki, you don't know. You wasn't there. How can you say it was brandishing if you wasn't there? Angela says, look it up, smart ass. I just looked it up. I looked it up. I'm not even going to call you a dumbass because that would be rude. But I did. I looked it up. And Angela, you're wrong. But I'm sure you're a very intelligent lady. Oh, Nikki says it was because Lincoln said it was. Okay, there you go. I guess you can't argue with that. If Lincoln said it, it's got to be true. If Lincoln said it, it's got to be true. You got me there, Nikki. You got me there. Lincoln has never said anything that wasn't true. And we know Lincoln is a wealth of legal knowledge. Angela says, I looked it up as well, and you found yourself to be wrong? Why people be mad at me? Why are you mad at me? I'm just telling you that, like, I didn't make up the definition. I didn't make up the definition of brandishing. Don't be mad at me because your definition happened to be wrong. You looked it up where, Angela? You said you look it up. Nope, what I typed is what it says. Where did you look it up? Where did you get that definition? Myosha, you are trying to start something. And again, I had no idea about any of this stuff. And I would absolutely love for Lincoln Ware to give me a verbal smackdown. I've been waiting for it for 20-something years. It just hasn't happened yet. But one of these days, he's going to muster up the courage to do it. I mean, he'll have to mix that with some skill. That's where the problem comes in. But I believe it's going to happen one day. I've been waiting for it. Oh, let's see. I got to unplug some of this stuff. I got to get ready to get out of here. Look, when people call me a smartass, I used to always say it's much better than being a dumbass. But I don't say that anymore. See, I'm growing up. I'm trying to change. People be trying to provoke me. I'll be like, hey, don't provoke me. B-Rab said, did you start your career at WCIN? No, I did not. Oh, Angela says I was actually calling Jason smartass. Okay. I didn't call you any names. I didn't, because I won't. Yo says, Emanuel, you need to start putting some respect on my name, bro. I've been on your live since day one and sharing. What did I say about you? I didn't say anything bad. What? Okay. Yo Underwood, what would you like me to say that would illustrate respect? Like, it'd be different if I was saying stuff about you. But I didn't say anything about you. I didn't address you. So you tell me what you want me to say. And then you can record it, and then you can play it for people. Put it on your ringtone. Just tell me what you want me to say. Jerica says, that's why people don't like you. What? What did I say? I promise y'all, I'm not even trying to be funny. What did I say, Jerica? What's why people don't like me? I'm trying to be what do they call it when you're trying to please everybody? Congenial or whatever. I want to know, what did I say? What did I say? Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate it. It's a different word, Chad, that mean a people pleaser. It's one word that'll make me sound smart if I say it. I be going for the smart sounding words. What would they call a people pleaser? What would a smart person call a people pleaser? I wanna say the words that make me sound smart. So no, a kiss ass does not make me sound smart. Kiss ass does not sound smart. As I'm a people pleaser. There's some word with more than 3 syllables in it. And if I say it, it means people pleaser, but I sound smart. No, not an introvert. I know you was just joking there. I know you was just joking, Lewis. Because no reasonable person thinks that an introvert is the same thing as the people pleaser or narcissistic. Compliant is only 3 syllables. I need at least 4. I need a word with at least 4. Anybody can use 3-syllable words. 3-syllable words. Everybody can use those. 4-syllable words. I do have dedicated haters. Now we still talking about brandishing. I can't click on that. I can't click on that, Angela. I'm sorry. I like benevolent. It don't necessarily mean the same thing, but okay, I forgive you. We cool. Accommodating. There you go. That's what I was looking for. I'm trying to be accommodating. Thank you, Brent. See, now I sound smart. Charismatic. Okay. I can go with that too. But yo, Underwood, I just want to say what you want me to say. You tell me what to say about you. I'll say it. Again, you can record it. You can put it on your ringtone. So when the phone ring, you'll hear the king of talk saying, yo, Underwood is whatever, whatever, whatever. And then you can just repeat. And everybody will be like, who was that on your ringtone? But it'll mean something to you because you'll know. That's right. I want to get my Michael Eric Dyson on. Sorry, this is Lincoln's little thing. See how I'm trying to be respectful? I'm trying to be respectful and put his stuff back where it was, all in the way. And I'm not picking up his trash that he left in here. I'm not doing that. All right, y'all. I think I got to get out of here. Oh, I just put it back where it was. I had to move it. Will Raven have a new nickname tomorrow? I didn't know she had a nickname. What was her nickname today? I didn't know she had one. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I went 2 days without wearing my CPAP. Like I fell asleep 2 days. So what was it? What's today? Today is Tuesday. So I wore it Monday night. I wore it Sunday night, which means Friday night and Saturday night, I fell asleep. Friday night and Saturday night, I fell asleep and I didn't wear it. And when I tell you, you can feel the difference. Like, if I could just not fall asleep without wearing it, and I'd be so frustrated because then Mrs. Livingston, she'd wake me up and she'd be like, are you going to put on your mask? I don't remember what I wanted to talk about. It's gone. She'd be like, you going to put on your mask? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to put it on. And then I just fall right back to sleep. I feel like in stuff like that, she should put it on me. And I don't mean put it on me, put it on. She can do that too. But I don't mean she should put it on me that way. I mean, she should take the mask, put it around, and strap it up. But I be so, like, we got these shows. Like I told y'all, right now we watching, we still in the second season of The Wire. It's not good. It's not good. So I'll be falling asleep on it. And then she'd be like, let me sleep. And then I wake up and then I get into bed and I fall asleep. Because you don't want to just sit there watching TV with it on. You can't, because it pushes so much air. You can't talk. You can't, none of that stuff. So, and then if I have it on, like, because I've tried that, I put it on. This is CPAP. That if you wear one, you know what that means. I put it on. Actually, mine don't cover my mouth. But I put it on, and she always be asking me questions when I put it on. And I don't know if you've ever worn a CPAP, but at least with my CPAP, you can't talk with that daggone CPAP on. It mess everything up. But I told y'all when we watch shows, she'll ask questions. What do you think he was thinking when that happened? Or where, And so she be trying to talk to me, and I don't be wanting to ignore her, and I don't be wanting to say, you don't see I got my mask on? Why you trying to get me to talk? So I be trying, no, you don't sound like any of that kind of stuff. You can't talk, or at least for me. Because when I open up my mouth, air is coming out. The air is pushing out. So I'm trying to, it's the weirdest, it's weird. That is, Carolyn, that's not a lot. Wake me up if I'm on the couch and say, baby, get into bed. And if I fall asleep and I got the mask there ready to put on, but I fell asleep, just put the mask on, click it in, and we good. How is that hard? If she wore a CPAP, I would put it on her. If she was asleep, I'd just click the little strap in and you good. She could do that. I think she should do it. Yeah, season 1 was good. Season 2 is not good. And I think we about halfway through it. At least I hope we halfway through it. I didn't even look and see how many episodes it is. I hope we halfway through it. If we can get through season 2, because I heard season 3 was better. But if season 3 ain't better, I'm done. I'll live with a bad season, but 2 consecutive bad seasons, I'm out. My CPAP covers my entire nose and mouth. You're right. You cannot talk. I don't wear it anymore. Can't stand it. No flash max. I would be heated. Look at my hand. Bap. No. Oh, I would be heated. How many episodes before you determine season 3 bad? I don't know. I gotta feel like it's going somewhere interesting. So I don't know. Like, I'll give it at least 3. But after 3 episodes, if I can't see it going anywhere, I don't know. It all depends. It all depends. Yeah, now mine just covers my nose. It covers, it just goes here. It's the little triangle thing. Covers my nose. So I couldn't do the whole one. I don't know why. That one bothered me. And I definitely couldn't do the little pillows. I couldn't do that either. Lewis said, I suggest y'all cut y'all losses on season 2 and start season 3. I feel like if I miss something, I'm gonna miss something. Like, Brent says, I finished watching season 1 and 2 of The Boys on Amazon Prime. They didn't mind killing folks at all. No, they don't mind killing folks at all. But I'm looking forward to season 3. I don't remember when it's coming out. I'm looking forward to season 3 of that. I'm looking forward to Ozark. Is it Ozark or Ozarks? I don't remember if it's got an S on the end. I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to finish this last season of Lucifer, but it's bad too. But I've watched them all, and I'm like halfway through, and I'm like, I gotta finish it, but I keep falling asleep on that too because it's just bad. It's just bad. So I'm trying to finish that. What else am I watching or looking forward to a new season of? And DeWanda, I saw you said accommodating. No S, Ozark. All right. Lewis said, I took your suggestion, started watching Manifest. I don't like the little boy either. The little boy is irritating. He is irritating. And I couldn't get through season 3. So I still got most of season 3 of Manifest there. I couldn't get with it, and that little boy is irritating. Did you ever look up The Corner? The Corner? Never even heard of The Corner. Squid Games is excellent. I saw a little preview of it finally. I don't get maybe one day I'll watch it. But as it stands right now, what I saw didn't make me want to watch it. But I will ask this. Are you watching it in Korean, or are you Korean with subtitles, or are you watching it with the overdubs in English? Lewis says The Wire was inspired by The Corner. Oh. I don't even know what Invincible or The Expanse is. I need somebody with Paramount Plus to message me. I need somebody with Paramount Plus to message me, because I be trying to watch Evil. I liked Evil. It was on CBS last year, and it's just on Paramount Plus this year. And I like The Good Fight, the other seasons. And I want to watch the last season of The Good Fight. But you can only watch those, I believe, on Paramount Plus. And I don't have Paramount Plus. I'm not willing to pay anything for it. I'm not willing to pay anything for it. If I was willing to pay for it, I would have had it already. My trade offer is appreciation. That's the trade offer. Appreciation. That's all I got. That's what I got. Appreciation. I maxed out on hold on, we might be able to what's your Disney Plus situation look like? What's your Disney Plus situation look like? We might be able to I don't know if you got it or not. Or your what's your Disney Plus situation look like? Jeannie says you have Paramount Plus as well. You hate the buffering. DeWanda says have 8. Have 8? I don't understand that. Jeannie, you might need faster internet if you keep buffering. What Forrest Whitaker show? Yeah, who is showing? Showtime is the show with Forrest Whitaker, because I think I watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes of the show with Forrest Whitaker. Was it The Godfather in New York or whatever it is? I only watched like 3 or 4 episodes of that because I think it's on Showtime. Where can I check that out? Because it's not on Hulu. Jeannie, no Paramount Plus buffering for me. I watch Star Trek, Discovery, and the WWE pay-per-views. That's not Paramount Plus, Brent. That's Peacock. Yeah, you got Peacock. That's not Paramount Plus. I got Peacock. I watch the WWE pay-per-views. Oh, Epix. Okay. Epix carries The Godfather of Harlem. This is making me mad. Because in order to watch the good shows, you gotta have Tony says, yeah, it's Epix, not Showtime. In order to watch the good shows, you gotta have all of these daggone streaming services. And, once you get Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, HBO, it ain't Plus, HBO, whatever it is. What else? I got Hulu, Amazon Prime. Then you got to get Epix, you got to get Showtime, you got to get. You looking at HBO Max. Thank you. I couldn't think of what it was. You looking at a good $100-something at Netflix. Can't forget Netflix. I'm not just put all of that. Just put it all on cable then. Now, you know what I'm saying? We might as well just all go back to cable. But they ain't putting the stuff like you're not getting the Disney Plus stuff. Those Disney Plus series, you're not getting those on cable. So now the cable company's going to go bankrupt in a minute. I believe so. The cable company's going to go bankrupt in a minute. And YouTube TV, I haven't even tried YouTube TV. Well, yes, Kenny, I know that, but I'm just saying, just in general. Jason, I keep telling y'all, I don't use my Fire TV anymore. I never had a Fire Stick. I have a Fire TV. I don't use that anymore just because, again, I don't want to be on here and say something to make somebody mad, and then, they start investigating. They start investigating me, and then next thing you know, I'm brought up on some federal charges for pirating TV shows. How embarrassing would that be? How embarrassing would that be? He's brought up on federal charges with all of this. Well, what did he do? He was watching Squid Games on Amazon Fire TV. What? Y'all got him on Squid Games? Federal charges? Pirating for Squid Games? No, bruh. I would pass. Like, y'all probably cool getting away with it. I would not do that. I would not do that. And I'd be down there like, Jason told me you need to hide your IP address. Them feds can get around that. You don't believe them feds can get around your VPN? They get around that. Carolyn says in some states that's illegal. Didn't you read an article about that? I believe it was in Virginia. I don't remember that. That's right. I cannot afford to get caught up on no Fire Stick. And the company, they'll fire me. I know they'll fire me. You were watching Radio 1. Oh, that's embarrassing. I can't remember the name of the Radio 1 show. Unsung. How embarrassing would that be for me to go to get federal charges as a Radio 1 employee for watching Unsung on my Fire TV? Oh, I'd be fired. I'd be in jail. The whole nine. I'd be messed up. Right. I'd be messed up. I'm not doing it. Y'all not getting me brought up on no federal charges. And then y'all be on here just dogging me out. Y'all be dogging me out. I would even hate to think what y'all be saying. Nikki, stop lying. Y'all would not be putting no money on my books. Y'all be dogging me out. Is anybody gonna put money on his books? I bet you don't mind Lincoln using his lights now. Oh my goodness, I'd be just messed up. Y'all be, it'd be terrible. Then Lincoln be on here having a couple actors reading the transcript of the indictment. And Emanuel said, put on Squid Games. And then his wife said, no, I want to watch Unsung. And Emanuel said, I don't want to watch Unsung. I want to watch Squid Games. Emanuel said, I don't like Unsung. And then it'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. And I'd be trying to stand up and hold a press conference. These charges are not true. We are going to beat these charges. I did not do what I am accused of doing. That is all my lawyer will allow me to say. But I ask y'all to stand behind me as I face these charges, and I will do everything that I can. I will be back to being the king of talk when this is all said and done. Don't ask me why I would be talking like that, but I'm pretty sure that that's how I would be talking. I would be reading a prepared statement. And y'all know my reading skills ain't all that good. It was a prepared statement. I had to read it. I would not be using Bishop Eddie Long's statement. I would not be using Bishop Eddie Long's statement. If anything, I'd be like R. Kelly with Gail. Y'all killing me, man. Emanuel, my life is on the line. I don't know nothing about hog tying nobody. Emanuel. And Gail be on TV. I was so afraid. I didn't know what he was going to do. But I'd be like R. Kelly when I'm found guilty. I'm telling on everybody. Just go in my chat. Look how many people was talking about they got a fire stick. David got a fire stick. Jeannie got a fire stick. Tria got a fire stick. DeWanda got a fire stick. Tony got a fire stick. Purple Pro's got a fire stick. Everybody got a fire stick. Man, you cut a deal. Like, I sure did. I cut a deal. Mr. Mims say that is not snitching. Mr. Mims say that is not snitching. Y'all can't call me no snitch. Mr. Mims said that is not snitching. It's only snitching if I tell on myself. That's snitching. Other than that, it's tattletelling. I'm not snitching, Tony. That is not snitching. It's tattletelling. Mr. Mims said so. Right before he talked about flash smacking people. Hey, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules for snitching. I just tell you what they tell me. And I got no reason to believe that Mr. Mims would not know what he was talking about. You know you don't have to. I hate when people talk about a jailbroken Fire Stick. You don't have to jailbreak a Fire Stick. You're not jailbreaking it. You're just adding an app to it. It's not jailbroken. Now, theoretically, you might have to jailbreak an Apple TV. But not a Fire Stick. Fire Stick, you just putting a program on it. It's not jailbroken. Right, but it's an actual term. Like, there are certain things that you have to jailbreak, but a Fire Stick is not one of them. Hey, I'm just telling y'all. That's why I'm not watching all of that stuff on Fire TV. Because again, I had the Fire TV. I never got the Fire Stick. I had the Fire TV. I'm just saying, if I get caught, we all going down. We all going down. How do you jailbreak Apple TV? I don't think you can jailbreak the new ones, because I read up on this stuff just for information's sake. But I read up on this stuff. I don't think you can jailbreak the new ones. I know the older ones you could jailbreak. But I think my understanding from all of the stuff that I'm reading is Apple has found a way that you can't jailbreak them. Apple figured it out. And you can't jailbreak theirs. Again, the older ones, some of the older ones you could. I can't tell you how I know that, but I do know that. But yeah, these latest ones, you can't. And I'm cool with that. I got my Apple TVs, and I'm cool with them just how they are. All right, I gotta get ready to get out of here. I appreciate y'all. Jason said I never heard the term ever until I got a Fire Stick. Well, yeah. People do use it for that, but that's not what it is. But I got to get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I guess until next time, it's been an afternoon experience. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.